All right, well, good afternoon, everyone. It is 2:49, about to be 2:50 here on this Sunday, and we are going to get a start on our stream here. And that's going to be where things begin today with our severe weather coverage. And so jumping on now because we do have a tornado watch that's in place. We also have our first warning in areas that are down towards Vandalia. And I wanted to jump on and start this coverage because I actually expect us to potentially have tornado warnings in the next 30 to 45 minutes, if not sooner than that. So watching things closely, keeping an eye on things here. And we'll be monitoring that. But in the meantime, we're off of television, but we're on our digital platforms. So you may be coming to us from Facebook. You may be coming to us from YouTube. You might be coming to us from the app, different things like that, and just getting on early so people are aware of what's going on, especially given that some of the severe weather is happening in areas already impacted from significant storms here just on Wednesday. And so there's a lot of anxiety, there's a lot of stress, there's a lot of concern with people. So we thought we'll just get started here and talk about things. So first off, let's talk about the tornado watch. This is going to define who's in and who's out, really, where the level of concern is. And I'll pop that graphic on. This tornado watch goes until 9 o'clock. I don't think it's going to go all the way until 9 o'clock, but we're seeing here for Montgomery, Fayette, Shelby, Effingham, Moultrie, Douglas, Coles, Edgar, Cumberland, Clark, Jasper, and Crawford counties in that, and then places to the south down towards Clay County as well, down towards parts of southern Illinois is where that tornado watch is. So if you're watching today in Springfield, you're pretty much done. Not worried about Decatur at this point, not worried about Champaign. I don't think the warm front gets far enough north, but it may lift more north towards Paris, Tuscola, Mattoon, Charleston in the next couple of hours. So I-72 corridor, I-74 corridor, I'm thinking are good here for the day. And then really it's the I-70 corridor and then I-57 from south of Champaign that we're just having to watch here with that tornado watch that's in effect. Again, we do have one warning, and this one warning is actually for Fayette County. Now, Fayette County is not technically in our TV market, but it is in our graphics. It also is the county that's downstream from Effingham County, and that's where these storms are. This is a severe thunderstorm warning for Fayette County, including Vandalia. It goes up to the county line there, west of Altamont, into northwestern parts of Effingham County right up there. Butts up with southern Shelby County there, south of Cowden, southwest of Fancher as well. And it's for this storm right here that's moving to the east and northeast. And let me get some information on it real quick here with that particular storm. In fact, they just extended that severe thunderstorm warning now for Shelby and Effingham County. So now Effingham County, now Shelby County added to that warning, also with a tornado possible tag. And as we look at it here, the National Weather Service says they're drawing a downstream warning for this because of some of the concern. They're moving northeast at 30 miles an hour. So it is a ways away from getting to places like Shumway and Effingham and off towards Strasburg and Stewardson. But given what has happened here, heightened awareness needed with that EF3 tornado that came through on Wednesday. This storm is heading for some of those same areas that were impacted in surrounding areas there. And so early lead time going to be helpful on a day like today. Continuing to move to the northeast at 30 miles an hour. It'll be in Cowden and Beecher City. About 3 o'clock is an estimated time there. And afterwards, this particular warning in Effingham and Shelby County goes until 4:15. And so that's what we are watching here. Now, the reason we have a tornado possible tag is, one, we're seeing some rotation on air. There is a little bit there. Our radar beam, a little hard to fully pick out those details down here, given how things are going. Those areas, the radar beam looks a bit high up into the sky compared to close to the ground here. But that doesn't mean we still can't get an early heads up and an idea. But when you look here, there's an area of bright spot here and another bright spot there. And what that is rotation. Here's one area of rotation. And there's another one located right here north of Vandalia. Both of those carrying off to the north and east. They're not likely to imminently produce tornadoes, but it is some mid-level rotation that's being noted. When we look at the radar beam in these areas, the radar beam actually measures in those areas at a height of about 6,300 feet, between that and 6,700 feet. So over a mile up is where we are seeing that rotation. We don't have that good of a view down towards the ground, but there's a number of storm chasers that are in that area. One of them, and I hope I've got the set right, we'll just take a peek and see if we've got him up there. This is Kevin in the storm tracker. Kevin actually right now is just past Shumway on his way into Beecher City. He stopped at Louis Corner, got some gas, we chatted a little bit, and then he started to move back to the west. And it's about halfway between there now. So we've got Kevin out there. We're not going to talk to him now, but we'll be able to check in with him should a tornado warning come, and that may very well be a possibility for the day today. Speaking of that, so one, storms are rotating. Why they are rotating is because we do have also a warm front that is in the area. Look at the temperature in Effingham, 75. In fact, at one point it was 78 down at the airport. We had 70s in Vandalia, but then you go north, we're in the 60s here in Champaign, Decatur, Springfield. Seeing that 70 get up to Danville, this warm front is starting to lift north and warmer air rising with it. A warm front is a magnet for tornado development. And that may be what we're dealing with here before long, which is why we're just kind of jumping on early and taking care of some housekeeping and getting things ready for what could potentially be another day with some severe weather for areas that have been hit. And so that's kind of the scoop of the things that are in play right there. So severe weather alerts, of course, we do have the severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Fayette and Shelby and Effingham counties. We also have a flash flood watch, that is. That flash flood watch is basically the rest of us north. The warm front settles on in. To the north of the warm front is where the flash flooding is more likely in place here. And so that's a concern where we're seeing some areas of heavy rain that are developing out there. And so we think that there may be some areas of flooding that can materialize. Backing a little more to the south here, just outside of our coverage area, there now is a tornado warning. This is going to be for Greene County. It looks like it may include to the eastern parts of Madison County. And that's for this cell here by Highland on the back side that'll be moving off to the east. This may be a southern Effingham, southern Fayette County problem soon. It's out of our area. But clearly, we're starting to see things escalate a little bit more. And there'll be some more issues, I think, that develop out here. So Clay County, watching you. We're going to have to watch here from Marion to Clay County off to the east towards Olney, Lawrenceville. We're going to watch for Jasper and Crawford counties as well. As that warm front begins to lift to the north, things become increasingly favorable for tornado development here in those areas. In fact, the National Weather Service, the folks at the Storm Prediction Center, the Storm Prediction Center actually has highlighted a chunk of the area where strong tornado potential is increasing. They said, hey, we could have a couple of strong tornadoes develop given how things look. And look at the area they've highlighted. Southern Shelby, Fayette, Effingham, Cumberland counties, Clark, Jasper, Crawford counties, down south towards Clay County, also towards Olney and Lawrenceville, and down to the south towards Albion and parts of Wayne County there. So this is the area where that warm front lifting on through, giving the chance for strong tornado potential. They specifically mentioned EF2 plus tornadoes are possible with this. And so that's why we're just kind of jumping on saying, hey, we're not imminently in danger, but there is a threat, and that threat seems to be escalating a little bit for parts of our area. That's fairly in line with our forecast over the last couple of days here, and we do have those active warnings that are in place. Let's go back to radar. Again, for a lot of us watching, there's not a whole bunch of issues. You're up in Champaign. You're in Decatur. You've got some rain coming, right? Bloomington, rain. Some showers in Livingston, Fort Iroquois County. No issues there. Springfield, drying out. In fact, Springfield may be seeing a little bit of development, but severe weather not expected. Even Taylorville, I think, mainly clear now. But some rain and thunder continues. Macon County, you'll probably be to the south there. It's going to be this corridor right here. And that's where that tornado watch includes. They've done a good job highlighting that area that is in place for that here. And so that's what we are expecting there. Keeping an eye, getting some updates. Let me just check in with the National Weather Service. Also, I'm checking your chat. So if you've got a report or something, let me know. But the National Weather Service just highlighting, saying, yep, we're seeing a couple of areas of rotation in Fayette County. They don't believe a tornado is imminent, but they've issued that severe thunderstorm warning because we may be trending in that direction. And that's kind of the gist on what's going on there. Looks like Kevin has made it to Beecher City, so I'll just pop him back up and we'll watch him drive through town. Beecher City, he just drove past the water tower. I just missed that there. It's on his left, so he continues to head. I think he's probably turning south now, probably back towards the Altamont area. And he's going to be trying to get in front of that storm there. One of the other issues is the Effingham County storm actually was, maybe he's heading west actually. Kind of looking at his, let me check his position. We can actually see him on radar there. Nope, he has turned south. Okay, that's what I thought. He's kind of trying to cut in front of it there. One of the issues that we have is the views aren't that great today, and there's a lot of rain. So these are another examples where rain-wrapped tornadoes are possible. If you happen to be in the right spot, then you can see them, but we don't think they'll be highly visible tornadoes, and we don't think we should trust that to be the case. There may be some tornadoes that are visible, but we should treat them like they may not be. And so, don't go outside and be looking for things like that unless you've got training and spotters. And that's what Kevin has. That's what I have. And that's why we're continuing to move him towards those storms there. So we'll see if we lose him. I mean, he's going down into some woods down there, down into the Beecher Bottoms. Is that what they call that down there? Down by the river. So he's sneaking his way on through. There's a weaker area of rotation to his west that's coming towards Beecher City, eventually Stewardson and Windsor. It's there. There's another weaker one behind him that's not as organized at this point either. It seems to have weakened a little bit, but that warm front is very close by. And so that's why there's some concern for these storms. We may see a better chance for tornado development in storms that can move more to the east and less storms that can move to the north and east. Sometimes if they move north, this is kind of fun to watch, Kevin, isn't it? Sometimes if they move to the north and east, they can go past that warm front, so they'll pass over it into cooler, more stable air. And number two, the surface winds seem to support the south and east. With the south and east wind, seems to support those eastward storms as well here. But still, it doesn't matter which way they're moving. There's some shear in the atmosphere. There's a little instability. And so we're watching things pretty closely with that here. Not only do we have Kevin, but we also have our Skycam in Effingham. And that is online. Let me pull that up for you. And we'll take a peek here. Somewhere around here. Been a little while since I've been in the studio, so I'm shaking the rust as well here to get ready for any tornado warnings that may pop. That's our view in Effingham. We're looking more to the west there, towards that blob of storms that's in Fayette counties with the severe thunderstorm warning. And we'll just have to keep an eye on that as it continues to move in. And we've got this camera, we've got Kevin, so we have you covered down in the Effingham County area. Control, if you can do me a kindness, if you could bring me full screen real fast and just, there we go. We'll take a look at the camera. I'm going to bring that radar back up, just kind of monitoring things and keeping an eye on it. So there's that radar that's popping in. And I don't know if you guys used, yeah, there we go. That's my radar. That's still Max 2. Just kind of checking a few other things behind the scenes here and whatnot. And I'll probably move actually to let me just get me ready to go to the chroma key here in a minute. I got Madison and I've got Rob and I've got Alec in the back and on a weekend here. This is my first weekend spending some time here with them. And as I move to the weekend shift here now. And so, we're having a little chance to get some things done and try some things out here and whatnot. So I figure we'll get that. So I'm just filling my water bottle up here on the side as well, just to make sure I've got some hydration in case we've got to talk for long periods of time. But I'll be heading to that chroma key here in just a second, and we'll be seeing how that works out for us here. So pardon me as I imbibe on some H2O there. Okay, cool. Thanks for that. So I can see myself there. Also, just checking out here, I can see your chat, so it's really nice. I've kind of developed it where I need to switch that key cam actually there as well. It's still on not I think is a me issue, not a you guys issue in the back here. I need to switch the key cam monitor back to other key monitor. I need to switch it to production switcher. Is that weather cam monitor? Yeah, it's on line right now. So there we go. Back to production switcher. There I can see myself. Oh, they just pulled a tornado warning in Fayette County. So if we can, let's go ahead and be ready to cut in. If you guys can get on standby in the back, because that does include the northeastern portion, Central Illinois and St. Louis. So we now have a tornado warning for far northeastern Fayette County, not quite in our area. But that just came out, and I haven't seen any information there. So we'll go ahead and get ready to jump in here if we can, because I expect a downstream warning to come Are we getting ready to go on? Okay. Yep. Let's go. Tornado warning. They put you on hold? We need to go right now. Tornado warning. Effingham, Shelby. If somebody just goes press the button, let's do that. Those who listen to the stream, we now have a tornado warning. Shelby and Effingham County. We're transitioning on to live TV. We'll have an update from Kevin. Hey, good afternoon. I'm WCIA 3 meteorologist Jacob Dickey. It is 3:05 p.m. We are now cutting into television program. We've been streaming on our digital platforms for about 15 minutes now, but we do have a tornado warning that is in effect here for Shelby and Effingham and Fayette counties here. And that's going to be for this storm right here. That tornado warning for a likely tornado near Wright's Corner moving off to the north and east. This is going to include Beecher City and Shumway. It'll be from Louis Corner to the north and west. Also going to include parts of southeastern Shelby County there from Strasburg, Stewartson, as areas south of Shelbyville. There's a Fancher to the south and east. And that is what we'll be covering now. There is a severe thunderstorm warning, broader in nature around that. Also, for housekeeping purposes, another tornado warning down in Bond County, Illinois, for a storm southwest of Greenville. We will not have to worry about that. As soon as we can, I'd like to get the triple box up here if we're able to, and we'll be able to see here Kevin in the storm tracker. He's in that area, and then we've got our Effingham sky cam. So as soon as that gets ready, we'll have that up for you. We've got eyes in the ground. We've got reports in the area, and we're also monitoring here with your messages as well. I'm able to see any comments that you have on our stream coverage. And so that is what we'll be looking at there. So here you go. The bottom right here, this is Kevin in the storm tracker. He is moving to the east. Top right is the Effingham Skycam facing to the west. I do not hear Kevin at this point in my ears. And I don't know if you guys in the back have him. But we'll be listening for Kevin's microphone and see if we can't get a report from him. There was also a report that came in a moment ago where storm chasers may have reported a tornado southwest of Beecher City. That's not fully confirmed, but at this point, given the setup of the day, I think we should treat this as a confirmed tornado regardless based on how things are moving here. So kind of watching that really closely here. Sirens are likely sounding as we go into the Effingham County and Shelby County areas. And if you are in those warned areas, then you're able to grab your phone. We're streaming on digital platforms right now. You can go to Facebook, go to our WCIA 3 weather app. You're able to go to the YouTube page and get this warning streamed so you can go to your shelter. Or if your TV is close by, turn the volume up there, and you could listen to us from there. But the phones allow us to communicate with folks in the situation now. And trying to make sure I keep up with chats here, but they are coming in very quickly. And so I may not be able to keep up with that. But if you've got a report, maybe you're hearing the sirens, maybe you've got some things going on. I've got that chat right there. That's our digital platform chat where our viewers can chime in. And I've also got the chat with the National Weather Service that is showing up here. Let's go ahead here and zoom in more on this tornado warning. This does not include Effingham proper, per se, but it does include areas immediately north. It's going to be up towards the Green Creek Rest area on I-57. It'll include Sigel. It does not include Neoga. It's to the east of Cowden here. So Cowden and Herrick. Here's Shelbyville. Stewartson and Strasburg, Beecher City, and Shumway are in place there. And that's what we're watching with this particular storm. So those are the areas that are in the path of it here. Let me zoom on in. I've got that backwards. Shumway and Beecher City. This likely tornado very close to Beecher City here, continuing to move off to the east and northeast. Control, if you're able to, have we heard from Kevin at all? I'm listening to you guys in studio. I don't hear anything on the weather IFB. Do we have anything with Kevin at all by chance? Is he able to be heard? No. Okay, no audio yet from Kevin, but we will get a hold of him and see what's going on. So I'll text him real quick and tell him to get his mic on for us. Microphone, please, Kevin. And he may be listening to us by now, but I do notice that he's driving away from it. So that's that bottom right part of the screen that you're seeing there with this tornado warning. And again, I'd like to treat this as a confirmed tornado based on some reports from storm chasers that are in the area here. We've got sirens going off in Shumway, sirens going off Stewartson, sirens going off at Lake Sarah. And that's what we're dealing with there. Go ahead and bring me back full here. We'll check back in real quick. This is going to be a very likely tornado right near Beecher City. Beecher City, the time is now. You've got to be in shelter. What we're looking at is the velocity. The radar is up in Lincoln, strong inbounds, and there is some outbounds here. And this is where that circulation is very near Beecher City as it moves off to the north and east. Shumway, you're in the path. Stewartson, Strasburg, Stu Strauss High School sits in the middle here. We've got out here Fancher and Mode in this area here. Effingham City, you are not in the path of this immediately. You still have a severe thunderstorm warning. It's very probable you may hear sirens in Effingham. I know where the Mid-America Corvette Museum used to be. Here's Louis Corner. This is north and west from there. And continuing to move more, I'm more concerned at this point for Stewartson and Shumway. Kevin, go to Kevin real quick. Let's take Kevin full. And Kevin, what you got?
All right, we're right here on it. It's going to be right in front of me here. There's some good rotation here right in front of me. We're looking right into it. So again, I am just southeast of Beecher City. You're looking at it right there. There's clear rotation on this. And so we are just southeast of Beecher City watching this thing kind of come in here, and definite signs of rotation. Literally right above me is where this is. And so we're going to have to peel off here real quick because this is the area where that tornado could develop. And I am just barely southeast of Beecher City, and we're going to have to peel out here because this thing is about to come up upon us. So we'll come back to here in just a bit, but we'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks, Kevin. So he's moving. He's got the report, and we'll be watching him. I need to take care of an echo in my ear here real fast. I think that's taken care of. That's Kevin. So real quick, bring me in front of that real quick. And I'd like to see Storm Tracker full if we can. We can drop the triple box for me. This right here is what he's looking at, an area of strong rotation. As you heard him report, this is near Beecher City, Shumway, Louis Corner, Stewartson, Strasburg, Stu Strauss High School. The time is now to shelter because this could be a developing tornado there, something that we're watching closely as we monitor. You heard Kevin's report there, and we'll continue to keep an eye on that. But Kevin, if he gets something, Control, you help me in the back and listen, and then I'll also be monitoring that. So very likely here, let's go ahead and bring back me full in front of Max too, if we can. Very likely a developing tornado, and Kevin's reporting this as well, between Beecher City and Shumway. The latest, this is strong rotation showing up here, over 33, halfway between Beecher City and Shumway. That rotation is going to take it to the north and east. It'll be crossing 32 north of Louis Corner, south of Stewartson there, and may occlude a little more to the north. Here's Fancher. Mode is close by. Beecher City. Down south and east, really behind where I am, is Effingham. This is northwestern Effingham counties, southern Shelby counties. I am not concerned for Shelbyville. I am not concerned for Windsor. I'm not concerned for Tower Hill. Those areas were in the southeastern part of Shelby County. Strong tornado potentially developing here at this point. We got a message from the Storm Prediction Center early on saying strong tornado potential in this area because of the warm front that's nearby. And so that's something that we're going to watch very closely. Just to make sure I'm not missing anything, I do want to widen out the view and make sure I'm not missing anyone here in the area. And let me put on the radar so we see. I do know there's a flash flood warning down in parts of Effingham and Shelby County as well from heavy rains. But the rest of our area, no severe threat I-72 corridor, no severe threat I-74 corridor, I-55 corridor, and west, no severe threat either. We are focused primarily from Lake Shelbyville, east and south, the I-70 corridor, where that tornado warning is in place here. And again, strong rotation being reported from this. We can triple box that again for me there. Thank you. and as we continue to monitor. So Kevin's shot is in the bottom right, the Effingham Skycam in the top right there of your screen. And Kevin's giving us a firsthand view into that storm. And if we can, let's see if we can talk to Kevin again. Kevin, let me know where you are and what you're seeing, Kevin.
Again, I'm between Beecher City and Shumway. This thing's moving so fast, I keep having to try to keep up with it and keep out ahead of it. Again, I am just south of Beecher City and Shumway, getting a little closer to Shumway, but there is a definite lowering that is there. And again, it's tough to see from the camera right now because I gotta kind of try to keep ahead of this thing here. I'm gonna keep going east here and try to eventually cut back to the north, and I'm gonna keep trying to give you some views, but definite rotation on this storm here. It is right there between Beecher City and Shumway, exactly where you've kind of been pointing out. But it's moving pretty quick, and so it's tough to kind of see anything again unless you're just in that exact right spot where you don't have that heavy rainfall. So we're trying to stay ahead of it here. We'll keep you up to date. I'll send it back to you for now.
All right, thanks, Kevin, for that report, and I'm gonna just check his location real quick. We can plot it, which is really nice that we're able to evaluate where he is. And Kevin here is down to the south of it. He's coming back in. So he's going to be racing up here to the east to Shumway, trying to get north on 32 there. The tornado would be to his north now. Going to be northwest of Shumway, where that is there. So monitoring really closely with Kevin and where he's at. That did get a new severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Effingham County. That's going to be a storm that's down by the Flora area, lifting north and east, eventually going to watch for Newton and the Jasper County area. With that, these are the storms as well that will have to be watched here closely as they continue to move. Of course, Kevin is on this storm. We're keeping close eyes on Effingham. Speaking of Effingham, just want to let you know, I got an update from our digital team. The Effingham officials have reported the storm shelter in the public library is available and open. It's located 200 North 3rd Street. If you are in need of shelter or wanting to head there, that shelter is open and available for you in Effingham County. And I know there's a combination of folks in damaged areas. This tornado warning includes some of that damaged path from Wednesday's storms here, but also with other storms coming on in, some folks maybe just want a safe place to go. The Effingham Public Library is available for you, and we'll be able to keep you sheltered with that. We'll keep an eye on Kevin. We'll watch that. I'm going to go back to velocity because that rotation continues to increase. And there it is. It's going to be north of 32, between 32 and the county line. There's the Shelby County line here. Here's 33, I should say, coming up to 32, about 3 miles north of Louis Corner. Here's Shumway, very close to Shumway. Shumway, you're out of time. You'll need to be in shelter there. Beecher City, give me another 5 minutes. The rotation is to your east, but not by much. We just want to make sure that fully clears. You're getting a lot of rain and some wind perhaps there. From areas west of 128, then all clear. Fayette County, from this storm, you are clear, but there are more storms in the area that we'll need to monitor there. So this is that area of strong rotation showing up now right over the Shelby and Effingham County line, just northwest of Shumway as it continues off to the east and northeast. The storm motion we were told is about 30 miles an hour, and that seems to be the case, but it is still a lot of rain wrapped up in there. So hard to see much of what's going on with Kevin's location at this point. But if he does see something, we will check in with him as needed. And I'm able to see him as well there. Also, we'll use our debris tracker. Just make sure nothing's been lofted. Nothing imminent showing up there. There's not a whole lot of good look to it. You know, I don't see anything that makes me think tornado down. But sometimes in these situations, weak tornadoes may not loft debris that high up, and there may be something still down given how strong that rotation is. Earlier, spotters reported to the Wrights Corner area, that's in northeastern Fayette County, a potential tornado that was reported in there. So it's just kind of monitoring that and keeping an eye on that. So again, Effingham County, if you're in need of shelter, the shelter at the public library on 200 North 3rd Street is available for you. If you're in Shumway, you're out of time. If you're in Effingham, other parts of the county, there are other storms on the way. Nothing tornadic yet, but something to watch. I'll tell you what, this cell right here, look at this. This is actually a Clay County storm. Really very interesting look to that. There may be a tornado developing in Clay County, south of Effingham, Flora, Louisville, off to the north and east towards parts of Jasper County. We will have to watch that storm closely. You can see that hook that shows up there. That's maybe an issue just outside of our area, but I know a lot of folks in Effingham County do go down to the south and are familiar with that area, so do want to mention that. And we've got folks in our stream from Clay County, I know, that are watching. So heads up, Clay County, potential tornado heading to the north and east. I think that stays south of Effingham by a long shot, but there's still other storm activity here that we have to monitor and keep a close eye on as things move on through. Let's go ahead and get a view of our cameras here, if you can. I like to just pop back. Again, Kevin's in the bottom right of your screen. The top right is the Effingham camera, and I'm going to pull that Effingham camera and start to maneuver that a little bit. So if you're able to, yeah, thank you for bringing that full screen there. I'll be able to turn that. We've got it turned west. We're going to turn it a little more northwest now, but I don't think we will get much of a view here because a lot of moisture. And there is a lot of rain that is wrapped up in this here. Down in Clay County, Xenia Fire reporting Lower Xenia, Iola, and Oak Mound Lane rotation. So Clay County developing tornado down there. That's not an Effingham problem, but that's going to be Louisville, Xenia, Flora, places like that. There will likely be a tornado warning that is coming. Now we're looking more to the north. This is up in that rotation. Our view there is not that great at this point. It's hard to see much of what's going on because of just the nature of these storms. They are clustered, they are rain wrapped, and something to watch. And so go ahead and bring me full on Max 2 here. We had this camera in Effingham Wednesday, a really good view of that tornado. We likely don't get views like that today, unfortunately. So we need to treat those tornado warnings as if they are down in the ground, especially given the situation that is in case. Tornado warning continues for Effingham and Shelby counties until 3:45. The time now is 3:21. I'm meteorologist Jacob Dickey in the studio. We've got meteorologist Adam Sherwinski. He's watching on the digital side of things, keeping updates. And then Chief Meteorologist Kevin Leidy is out in the storm tracker here. And he's there on that bottom right part of the screen. Looks like he's getting back close to Louis' corner there. Kevin, can you let us know where you are and what your plan is here, Kevin?
Yeah, so I made my way back up here to Louis' corner. Again, I'm going to try to get you a little bit of a view here. It's just on the kind of left part of your screen there, where there is just a little bit of that lowering there as we look off to our northwest. And as you mentioned, man, this thing is going to be just trapped in rain and be very, very difficult to see. But you kind of just barely see it there on the left side of the screen, kind of a little bit of a lowering that's in there. Definitely a concern there for Stewartson if this thing continues to kind of ramp up. But again, I'll be real curious to kind of see what happens here with this thing kind of latching onto the warm front. And so we're doing our best to try to kind of keep up with this thing here. But it's starting to move, it moves at a pretty good clip there. You get a visual of it, and then you lose it when that heavy rain starts to move in. So it is just going to be crossing probably right on the Shelby and the Effingham County line now, just north of Shumway. So that is the report here. We're going to try our best to try to kind of stay in it best as we can. But if you're in Stewartson, absolutely, just north of Shumway to Stewartson, definitely take shelter. But we're kind of seeing it right there. Again, behind those barns there and to the north west of our location. We'll do our best here in the storm tracker. Chief Meteorologist Kevin Leidy, back to you. Again, as you mentioned, though, I want to just tell people this is not going to be like the Effingham tornado where you saw that thing on our tower cam clear as day. This is going to be much more difficult, where we may be able to see it for 30 seconds if we're in the right place, but then it'll get obscured by all that rainfall. So we'll send it back to you in the studio for now, and we'll keep you updated.
All right, thanks, Kevin. I want to mention now a new tornado warning for a storm in far southeastern Effingham County. It clips the far southeastern edge here, and that's going to be there well south and east of Effingham. But that's the storm in Clay County, west of Flora near Xenia, south of Iola, over by the state park. Rotation reported, developing tornado now going to cross 45 near Louisville, between Flora and Louisville. That will carry it to the north and east. An early heads up, Newton, they got the power station right here. Newton City is right here. Eventually Jasper County going to have to watch for that. I'm not so worried about the far southeastern corner of Effingham County, but the warning was issued for there. And so we will just mention that and talk about that. But that storm down there looks mean. This is going to be near Winter Road. I've learned my Effingham County geography. I finally know how to say that town. I even visited there. Nice little area. Last time I was there, there was a lot of flooding. Winter Road, you are in the tornado warning. Eberly, Elliottstown, not. Effingham, Teutopolis, Montrose are not. This is more than likely going to be a Jasper County issue, though, on the direction towards the power station and then towards Newton. But that, to me, is maybe something you really have to watch. I know on our digital stream, we've got folks watching in Clay County. I know also in Effingham County, there's relatives down there. Louisville, strong tornado potentially heading towards your direction, crossing 45 very near, if not just south. Louisville, Ingraham, Bible Grove. Winterwood, you're in the tornado warning. I'd like you to shelter. And then Jasper County, do need to watch that storm very closely here. Let's jump back up to northern Effingham County. Confirmed tornado now, southeastern Shelby County here. Confirmed tornado being reported. A tornado is on the ground in southern Shelby County. I don't want to say all clear Effingham County yet. We are close to that, but the National Weather Service says there is a tornado reported southwest of Stewartson, this area right here with this rotation. They are reporting it as a confirmed tornado. Stewartson, red line, center line coming towards you. This is moving to the northeast directly towards you. Stu Strauss High School, Strasburg, you're also in the tornado warning. Shelter. You go east of Stewartson. Eventually, this may carry towards Neoga and Cumberland County. We may see that additional tornado warning issued should the rotation continue, but signs that there is a tornado on the ground with this storm in Shelby County as it moves off to the north and east. And go ahead and triple box again. We're not going to get a good view of it. Kevin is in this area. You can see him in the bottom right there. The rain blocking a view, though. This is a rain-wrapped tornado. This could be a fairly This is a dangerous situation for southeastern Shelby County, and I think we'll see an extension of the warning. So this will eventually, if it does, Neoga, maybe southern Coles County. Watching that closely. Downstream, Cumberland, Coles County, you're next in line from this. Can this rotation hold together? That's the question. And if it does, that downstream then after Stewartson be going towards Trowbridge, towards Neoga, heading there towards Lakeland College, southern Coles, parts of northwestern Cumberland County. So next in line is that. Let me talk a little bit about, folks, just some safety things, although I tend to think that we are well-versed and experts. If we were to... let's see here. If we were to take a pop quiz, I think all of us would pass with flying colors with that there. So just getting my correct graphic up here. If you're downstream, I'm talking now for Jasper County, Cumberland County, Coles County, 30 to 45 minutes in the path. If you got a mobile home, you're there now. Maybe the time to go is now ahead of a warning to get out there. You'll want to be prepared to seek shelter. If you are in a sturdy building, you're probably listening to us. We've got thousands of people on our stream here now watching. You can go to our Facebook pages, our app. You can go the WCIA3 news and weather apps have the stream going, and make sure that phone's charged just so you got some battery. Arrange your safe place, get your flashlight, and check that WCIA3 weather app. So that is what we are considering there. Tornado safety, again, no homes that are mobile homes, manufactured homes, not something. You need something that's a site-built structure. No cars, highway overpass, bad place to be here. Large open rooms. If you want to be somewhere where there's a more interior room, center part of a home, a bathroom with no windows. If your bathroom has a window, that still can be a good place because you can use the tub as a place of sturdy reinforcement. Obviously, the best place in a tornado shelter or safe room or a basement. Safe place to go is the Effingham Library. Public library is open if you need a place in Effingham County, 200 North 3rd Street. And we know sirens are sounding down there in the Effingham County area. All right, let's bring back the triple box and just watch that. New tornado warning now for Fayette counties. This is southern Fayette County. This is going to be from Vandalia to the south. We're going to watch that. It's tough to see because of all that rain that's out there. There's severe thunderstorm warnings still. But this is going to be for the storm that's coming out of Bond County and moving on in. And this is likely to be south of Vandalia. This may eventually be a southern Effingham County problem, northern Clay County, southeastern Fayette County problem with that there. So we've got 3 different storms with tornado warnings on them. One of them is a confirmed tornado from the National Weather Service. I have not seen any more information about that confirmed tornado, but we do know that the National Weather Service says there was an observed tornado in southeastern Shelby counties. And just kind of monitoring here, they said it was near Stewartson, northwest of Effingham, moving northeast at 30 miles an hour. Spotters confirmed that tornado there. Somebody had a clear path to see that. No word on if that tornado warning is extended. If it is, it will carry it then into parts of Cumberland and Coles County. And so we will watch closely about that. Other storms here. Clay County, funnel cloud reported southwest of Louisville, strong rotation. That is a storm of interest very near Louisville, moving north and east. That does include Winter Road in Effingham County. And that will carry off towards Newton, Jasper County as well. That's likely to stay out of the core area, but still want to talk about it. I know a lot of folks are very interested in the Effingham County and surrounding areas. And then we've got this Fayette County tornado warning that continues, and that's bringing it closer in our direction. Looks like Kevin's wrapped up in the rain. We'll just check his spotter report, his spotter icon. We can see where he's at and what he's doing, and you're going to see him smack dab in the middle right here, I think, of all that rain. There he is. Looks like he's heading back down into this from Louis Corner, maybe north. There he goes. The icon just updated there. He's going north in 32 towards the Stewartson area. And if he sees damage or anything like that, he'll let us know. He's passing Beecher Street there in Shumway now and continuing north towards 2000th Avenue and then off towards County Highway 23 as he moves north on Illinois 32 there, kind of behind the storm. I want to say northwestern Effingham County, all clear from this tornado warning. Effingham, Shumway, Beecher City, you are clear now. The rotation now is really over Stewartson. And a couple of things stick out to me here. One, if you look at this backward C shape, if I looped this, you'll see that C shape develop more. We may be seeing where this rotation right over Stewartson now could be weakening a little. The question will be does this little area start to strengthen? Sometimes we see rotation hand off, but also it's just a messy storm mode, so I don't want to get too focused on anything. Tornado warning continues, confirmed tornado near the Stewartson area, moving off to the north and to the east. They just updated that. We're back to a red box now. A red box means no observed tornado remaining, but there is a area of rotation they're still watching. So the earlier confirmed tornado has lifted somewhere before it got to Stewartson, most likely. And but the tornado warning does continue, and we will have to get some information on if they are going to extend that tornado warning, depending on how things go. Just seeing a photo, Xenia Fire showing a rotating wall cloud down south of Effingham in the Louisville area. And that's going to be moving generally in the direction of Jasper County, but southeastern Effingham County at Winter Road is in the path of that. There's that area of rotation right there, moving north and east. It'll be real close to Winter Road, but I think it's going to be more Jasper County and Clay County. But the tornado warning does include that southeastern corner of Effingham County there. And so still have some concerns, still monitoring things very closely on that. Let's get a check in with Kevin if we can. He's driving through the rain now. Kevin, you're moving to the north. Have you seen anything or any damage, any roads ponding with water? What you got out there as you're moving towards the Stewartson area?
Oh, absolutely torrential rain, and it is making it just absolutely difficult to see anything. But again, I'm traveling to the north. Interestingly enough, I thought I came upon damage, but then I had to remember, I just passed over the Shumway path from Wednesday, and so I came upon some damage there, and I was like, nope, that's from the other day. But I'm in Shelby County now, so I'm going to be coming into the south side of Stewartson. I'm going to be peeking here just to see if I see anything, but as far as any damage goes, but my visuals on this are going to be absolutely obscured by this rain. You barely have like a 30-second window ahead of this thing to try to decipher something in the clouds. So what we're going to do now is just kind of come in and see what we see in terms of any damage, as this would have came through just on the kind of south side of Stewartson. But I'm still in some pretty good winds here, and I'm kind of right in close to where some of that rotation is still going to be now, just northeast of Stewartson. But we're in it here, folks. And again, just really heavy rainfall. I'm trying to see if I can see any damage, but I will say this: the rain, I came through some definite ponding of water on the roadways. I might even be getting to a little bit of RFD right now. Yep, I'm in some art. Looks like I'm definitely in a little bit of RFD here because we're getting some really strong winds. That would be kind of wrapping, trying to like kind of wrap into the back side of this here. And I've even kind of seen some of these sheets of rain in front of me. I mean, it's coming down here, folks. This is some really heavy stuff. So again, we're just to the south and east of where this rotation would be. And again, it is going to be just absolutely embedded in that rainfall. So we're going to see what we can see here. But I got to tell you, this one's a difficult one. This is not like the other day where you had that clear view. This thing is that tornado is embedded in that rain. So again, I'll come back to you here in a couple minutes because I think I'm going to be coming across where possibly the tornado would have crossed here on 32, and I'll see if I can see anything, but we'll send it back to you in the studio for right now.
All right, thanks, Kevin. We're just going to leave the triple box up, so if he starts throwing hands and, looking at things, we can see that right away. Got that camera, and I think I'm looking north as well here. That is not able to see a whole lot here at this point, just given how things are. I also want to talk about this tornado watch, still in effect until 9 p.m. tonight for counties in yellow. I've seen a few folks, Danville, Champaign, Decatur, Springfield, folks have been saying, what about us? If we're not talking about your area, we aren't concerned about your area. We spend our time focusing on the problem areas. At this point, it's southeastern Shelby County and Effingham County. Next in line, Cumberland and Coles County. And Jasper County also is next in line there. So that's the focus at this point. Also, Fayette County, there's a tornado warning down there. So tornado watch goes until the tornado watch goes until 9 p.m. I'm going to get back to radar. I think that kind of looking at some things here. First off, the strongest storm of the day for this Shelby County storm, National Weather Service says if trends continue to downturn, they do not expect to issue an extended tornado warning. They don't think they're going to have to, but those trends need to continue moving in that direction. And that doesn't mean we can't not see an extension, if that makes sense. But maybe that's a better sign for Neoga, Lake Paradise, Lake Mattoon, Charleston, Lerna, places like that. Down in this storm, boy, that's a mean storm right east of Louisville now. And that's going to be heading to the north and east. It'll pass between Ingraham and Bible Grove and heading into Jasper County. And we'll kind of look at the rotation on that. That's a storm that can produce a strong tornado pretty quickly. It may be heading in that direction. And the velocity here right over the city of Louisville is where that rotation is. This is Clay County, but Effingham County in a tornado warning because of this storm down by Winter Road as it moves off to the north and east. And the radar beam here is coming from Evansville. There's a lot of favorable ingredients ahead of it into Jasper County. So I want to early call for Newton. I want to really early call for Robinson. If you know folks there, send them a message. Even if we are not on TV for this warning, once it passes into the Terre Haute TV market, we will continue our digital stream for that area, assuming no other tornado warnings are issued. And we still have some Fayette County issues, more on that in a second here. What I do want to do is check to see if there's any debris being detected, because that's a pretty potent looking storm that's down there. And just make sure that nothing's there. It looks a little, I'm not convinced by that. I think that's a little off place, but that may be heading in that direction. Actually, looks like they just upgraded that to a confirmed tornado warning. So there is a tornado down. I'm not sure that's a debris signature yet, but we're moving in that direction. And maybe the new warning will, or the new radar scan will pick up on that. So confirmed tornado now, reported in Clay County near Louisville. Clay County EMA reporting there's debris and damage on Vandalia Road between there and Louisville. And so that's a confirmed tornado warning. It does include far southeastern Effingham County right here. This is why we're continuing coverage, is for Winter Road. And it doesn't matter how big or small your town is. If you're in our coverage area, we care about you. We are on TV for you. We're on digital for a lot of things there, a lot of folks as well. But confirmed tornado now, far southeastern Effingham County. Still have, in fact, it looks like maybe my radar is a little behind, because let me zoom this in here and get back. The new scan has come in, and I think it's going to look a lot different here. Sometimes by the time we get a data, maybe it's a minute behind, but we're probably going to see a blob. There's that tornado debris right there, debris signature, and just kind of looking at what NWS is saying, moving off to the north and to the east. So a lot of concern for Jasper, far southeastern Effingham counties. Not the city of Effingham. We're good. But that's going to be a storm that can really do a lot of damage in a hurry with that there. Kevin's still moving to the north. Tornado warning continues southeastern Shelby County until 3:45. We're 7 minutes away, but the threat seems to be coming down a little bit. Kevin, go ahead. Let's go to Kevin.
I got something kind of interesting here in front of me. It seems like there might be another area of rotation trying to develop here between Stewartson and Strasburg. It's right here in front of me, and there is some rising motion. Just take a look at this here. And again, it almost looks like there might be another little area. It seems like there's another little area of rotation that's right here. Can you see that?
Yeah, Kevin, what's your specific location?
I'm almost halfway between Stewartson and Strasburg on 32. And I mean, there's some definite rising motion in this, and they can see some of that circulate. So it just looks like there's something else here that's trying to form here. Again, it's kind of hard to tell, but it definitely looks a little interesting here right in front of me.
Yeah, go ahead and control pop me on in front here and bring me full on that camera if you can. If I need to put it in max, I can do that as well. There we go. Madison's going to got it for me. Look at that. A lot of rising motion. Sometimes what happens is we get these areas of spin and they weaken, but the mid-level spin is still there, and we're just handing off that rotation to a new area. These are raindrops. You're seeing those dots, but we're looking at this right here. We're looking at this scud lifting in, so something new. Kevin, are you really close to the high school? Is that where you're at?
I'm going to be not quite there.
Not quite there, but you're looking north, right?
Like I said, I'm looking north. I'm looking due north here, and just slightly maybe northeast from my location. But it definitely just seems like I've seen some pretty good motion here. Some of the best motion that I've seen since earlier, but it just seems like there was kind of another little area there, maybe just to my northeast, northeast, just basically northeast of 32 here. And you can just see, I mean, there's just a lot of that motion here in the clouds. And so we're just going to keep an eye on this here and continue to drive to the north. But it just kind of caught my attention here, just how much some of that rotation was trying to kind of form. And so, again, embedded in some of this rain. But, again, we'll just have to continue to monitor it. And we'll be back with you here in just a bit as we'll continue to kind of move up here to the north.
All right, Kevin, thanks for that report. Just to your north, if you need to get over to Neoga, there is a road. It's County Highway 33 that'll take you there through Trowbridge and off into the Neoga area. Also, Kevin, I would be looking to your east. There may be a new area of rotation trying to develop right south of Neoga, right here. That's kind of sticking out to me as well. And so we're going to keep a very close eye on Cumberland County here with that. Sometimes that rotation still a little bit in here. But sometimes we see that surging winds, and with these storms, there may be something new trying to develop in northwestern Cumberland County near Neoga. It's going to be close to 45s, just in the south edge of town. Nothing imminent, but that does catch my attention with that radar signature that's showing up there, and we're going to watch closely. National Weather Service says Shelby County warning will expire at 3:45 p.m. We're going to stick a little bit longer with that and just make sure. But then... we've got Kevin there. We've got our Skycam. Severe thunderstorm warning is in effect with a tornado possible tag. This is going to include Mattoon from downtown to the south, Lakeland College. It's going to include Lerna. It includes Sarah Bush. It's going to include the Coles County Airport, the city of Charleston. It goes right up to Oakland. It goes also to the east towards Ashmore, and then south towards Diona, down towards the Fox Ridge State Park. It includes all of Cumberland County, and then includes northern Jasper, northeastern Effingham County there. Let me get control. I'm going to look at radar real fast here. I don't think our Effingham camera is going to be able to see anything, but I want to just confirm that. It's in the middle of all that rain there, so it's going to be hard to see. But let's go ahead and just take that Effingham camera full if we can. And I'm going to start to just turn that, do a little Skycam tour. This right now is looking to the north and north-northwest as I continue to pan it around. I mean, you really can't see a whole lot, but there's a lot of rain. We don't get clear views like we did before. So we're here for you, Effingham County. We're going to get through this. Coles County, we're going to be here for you as well and continue to monitor. But it is such a dreary day with all of that rain. Our views just are simply not going to be good from this camera either. And so that's something that we're going to have to monitor here. Looks like I'm just getting an update. Stewartson Fire did report a tornado earlier. Let me just ask the National Weather Service. Kevin, are you still there? Stewartson Fire, we just got a message from Shelby County EMA. They reported a tornado moving in the direction of Neoga. Have you seen anything in the last couple of minutes?
Well, again, that was kind of what I was looking at there. I think that was just to my north and east. I'm just now turning on 33 and heading back east here. I think that was kind of the area of rotation. I mean, it looked definitely very suspicious there. But again, you've got this like little, there's like a little donut hole. I don't know if you can like kind of see there on radar. There was like,
yeah, you're in the middle of it, aren't you?
Between Strasburg, between Strasburg and Neoga. And that's when you were able to kind of pick something out there as far as some rotation goes. And so that's where I've been, and where there's definite motion and where I could see, somebody reporting that as, a funnel or there was absolutely rotation on it there. But again, not all the way to the ground. We didn't have anything that I could see touching down, but the contrast is bad. There is something in front of me here. It's super different. I don't know if you can see this or not. I'm trying to get back ahead of it in that area, but again, heavy rainfall. This thing's going to be impossible to see if there would be anything with any of these little pockets of rotation. Again, I don't see anything super strong on radar, but there is motion. There's some shear out here, and I think we're trying to tap into it. So again, I'm now east here as we travel here on 33 and towards Neoga. So if I see anything, I'll let you know.
All right, thanks for that report, Kevin. We'll keep the triple box up with you and our Skycam and Effingham, and I'm going to go ahead and switch it to maybe our Matt Toon Skycam to just take a peek at that as well here. Our Charleston camera is actually still offline. It got hit by the tornado, and I have not – I'll just see if it actually works. But I'm pretty sure it's still offline from that. It should pop up in a second there in that top right. But it's going to be the same – yeah, it's still offline from the tornado, but the Mattoon camera we've got facing west and south. And let me drop that on in here. So there's the Mattoon. Again, it's going to be hard to see what's going on. There's a lot of rain down here, folks. It is raining cats and dogs and fish and frogs, the way things are going here. So let me just turn this camera back to the south. That's looking west. Torrential rain. There's going to be some flooding because of this here. But again, we don't see a whole lot as we look to the south. It's just rain. And when we look at radar, we can see here that that radar shows a lot going on. All right, let's go back to me real quick. So again, there's Kevin. He's keeping an eye on things. And Kevin, you just yell if you see something. Mattoon camera we've got up. Effingham camera. All this is surrounded in rain here. Did get an update. The Stewartson Fire Department, that was the earlier tornado. So that's not going to be something I'm overly concerned. We're still going to watch to see if there's any rotation in Cumberland County. So that is what's going on there. So Kevin now, he's moving east from 33 and continues. There's some lowerings there. So Kevin, again, yell if you need. This storm right here, though, confirmed tornado still on the ground, Clay County. It's moving to the north and east into Jasper County. New tornado warning coming soon for Jasper County, including the power station, Newton. I know there's some campsites down there, some campgrounds. It's Father's Day weekend. I hope folks down there are paying attention. You know someone camping out there, send them a message. And this may become a large and extremely dangerous tornado before long, the way things are. Tornado now, Dietrich Blacktop and Testament Lane heading towards the Ingraham area. So that's with this storm here. Well south of Dietrich. Continuing there, though, it'll pass just southwest of Winter Road, Effingham County, far southeastern part of the county. Tornado warning does continue. Confirmed tornado. And that's been on the ground since Louisville as it moves off to the east. Also have 2 tornado warnings now for Fayette County and northern Marion County. That's going to include Kinmandy. It's going to include the Farina area. It's going to right up to Effingham County. And that will be moving generally in the direction of that southern parts of Effingham County. So want to monitor things closely. And boy, I'm a little worried about that storm heading towards Newton County, but we're going to keep an eye on that. We're going to keep an eye on Coles County here. Let's go back to velocity. There's the line now. It's cross 57, the leading edge, rolling into Toledo, be heading towards Diona, eventually towards the Greenup area. Fox Ridge State Park down here, Lake Charleston, EIU, Mattoon. There is a little bit of rotation that's here in the Neoga area, and we're just going to stick with this for a bit. There's a lot of folks here, I know, watching, and we just want to make sure we're getting information out, even though this storm has no tornado warning. We'll ride this, I think, all the way through, given what happened Wednesday. Shelby County, everyone west of 32 is good. Effingham County, if you're north of I-70, west of I-57, that's going to be Beecher City, Shumway, Louis Corner, you're good at this point from the tornado concern, but heavy rain continues in that area, and so watching that closely. Winter Road, I think that tornado is on the ground still. It's not far. It's right over Ingraham, and let's just put on the debris signature. That's going to carry into Jasper County. I expect a new tornado warning to be extended into areas towards Willow Hill and Newton soon. They're reporting that tornado is still down. One of the issues is the radar beam is so high, but there is some evidence that tornado continues. I do think, actually, this is right here. This is debris fallout. So this has been a strong tornado in Clay County. If you're in Winterrood, Eberly, down in the Dietrich Blacktop south of town, there may be some tornado debris falling on you. That's from the storm to your south down in Clay County, carrying off into Jasper County. So if you're in Effingham County, I think this storm stays away from you. There's other storms to your southwest we're watching, but if you know some folks over towards Newton, maybe Willow Hill, past Dietrich there into Jasper County, anyone in that direction, send them a text. Say, hey, big tornado coming your way. WCIA is watching it. Go to their digital streams. We're going to keep an eye on that there. We're also still keeping an eye on that line of storms further to the north. Just getting some other information. Sirens in Farina. Sirens heard in the southern parts of Effingham County. I think that's probably a spillover from the Fayette County storm. And then this storm there continues for southeastern Effingham County with that tornado warning. What's going to be a real sizable tornado in the Ingraham area. And I think there's debris that's falling out from that rather significant tornado that's in place. So that is what we are continuing to monitor. Kevin, give us an update where you are. Let me just get a location on and see if we can make sure you're still going in the right direction and staying safe. Kevin, where you at?
Yeah, so I am still traveling east here on 33. I'm barely just west of Neoga again, just in this mess of heavy rainfall. Just a heads up, if you are traveling and driving, I mean, there's a lot of water that's fallen here. And I anticipate that they may have to start, issuing some flash flood warnings here because we've had a ton of that. Nothing immediate drawing my attention here. Again, as I continue to travel east, I'm not sure if we just kind of continue to follow this through Cumberland County, but that stuff there that is coming just south of our viewing area, obviously looking a little bit more intense, but the stuff we've got here right now looking a little bit more raggedy than it did a little bit earlier. Looks like, what do you got? Another tornado warning that's down there in the southeastern Crawford County now. So, yeah, as of right now, again, we're in just a heavy rain. We are just coming in, going to be coming into the west side of Neoga here in just a couple of minutes. But, boy, there's a lot of water out here, folks, on the roads. I've seen some occasional little branches that, some small branches, nothing big, just from probably some wind.
All right. Sounds like Kevin's, I think I know exactly where he's at. He's going down into the river bottom there to the west of Neoga, and he's on County Road 33. He is not on Illinois 33, just to clarify there. So he's heading to the east into Neoga, and we'll check back on with him here in a little bit. Confirmed tornado continues in Jasper County, and that's moving off to the east. We do have flash flood warnings in place as well, I believe. We just got a new flash flood warning for Shelby, parts of Effingham. Let me clear off the radar real quick, and we can take a peek at that. Oh, my old eyes here. That flash flood warning just came out for parts of Shelby County, northwestern Effingham, and the Fayette County area. And that's with this green box here. Severe thunderstorm warning, tornado possible tag, Coles, Cumberland, northern Jasper, and Effingham counties to the north and east from Effingham proper, up 70 and up 57. We have a confirmed tornado, a fairly sizable tornado in progress now down near the lake, the power station in Newton, north of Ingraham. That's going to be passing away from Effingham County, which is some good news, but very concerned for Jasper County, eventually Crawford County, potentially southern Clark County there. Also, now a confirmed tornado in Fayette County. This is going to be now to the south and east of Vandalia, carrying off to the east. Kinmundy, Farina, up to Edgewood. That's going to include you. This is a Fayette County issue. Edgewood literally is on the county line there. Mason, we're going to watch, but that's a pink box for a confirmed tornado that is reported down there. So now I think we're up to 3 different confirmed tornadoes so far this afternoon. We've had that tornado there in Shelby County earlier. That has since lifted there. That is not continuing. We've got the Chaubonear area, south of Vandalia, a confirmed tornado. That's going to be following into Clay County as well. And then check this out. Actually, do you see this here? Here's Mason. Here's Edgewood, Farina. There's another circulation that's likely developing just south of Effingham County, going to carry between Louisville and the Effingham County line. That may be as far southern Effingham County issue as well. And that's going to be a situation to watch. And then we have this confirmed tornado here in the Chaubonear area, moving to the east from Route 51, heading in the direction of Farina, and points to the north and to the east there. So active situation still unfolding. The sliver of Effingham County still included in that tornado warning down by Winter Road. The tornado is getting ready to pass to your east, and that means that that's going to probably drop off soon. But we're going to stick with it here for a little bit longer if that does happen, just to make sure nothing new spins up. And then if we do eventually drop from TV, then we're going to stay on digital, just continue covering places like that. My highest concern for significant tornado potential really at this point is Jasper County. Newton points south and to the east there. That is a fairly sizable signature for a tornado that's moving in your direction there. And just keeping an eye on that. That's going to carry it through areas from Newton to the south and to the east. St. Marie, Oblong, Newton, Bogota, the lake, it's heading your direction. So you know someone down that way, send them a message and let them know. We don't have any updates on Neoga. We don't have any updates to share. There's not a tornado warning for Neoga or Coles or Cumberland County. What's included on that is a tornado possible tag. A tornado possible tag is attached to a severe thunderstorm warning saying, yep, the conditions are favorable where maybe a tornado develops, but it's not imminently likely. And so that's what we're going to watch closely here with Coles and Cumberland counties, northern Jasper, northeastern Effingham County. But here's that leading edge right here that's moving into green up in Toledo is where that potential rotation would be. And I will just flip on the velocity just to make sure there is some rotation in there. But notice we're not seeing bright greens and bright reds close to each other here. It's in the right spot, surging winds in the storm. Sometimes you can get little spin-ups, but nothing there screams immediate tornado to me, which is some good news. We'd like to keep it that way. Maybe the rain mess and all the storms just interacting with each other helps to keep that at bay. We are still going to stay here, though, for Cumberland County. And if you're in Cumberland County, particularly from 121 to the east there towards Toledo and Greenup, go ahead and just be ready to move in case, maybe you hear the wind pick up and it gets a little bad. There could be some 60 to 65 mile an hour winds. And I can't rule up that we could have something spin up quickly. Maybe this sticks out to me here northwest of Toledo. Not immediately concerning, but there's something there. And one of the issues is our radar in Cumberland County sits 6,000 or 7,000 feet up. So if it happens to be a weak, brief tornado, sometimes they can happen. And by the time it lifts, the radar beam misses it, essentially. It could just, like a flash of a camera, just whoop, whoop. And that can be the case. So can't rule it out. That's what that tornado possible tag is for. This doesn't look like a situation in Cumberland County where significant strong tornado is happening now, but there is a little rotation that's in there. Also seeing near Dietrich, here's a little spot showing up in northeastern Effingham County. That's going to carry it to the north and east. That may end up being a Hidalgo, Greenup, South I-70 issue should that pick up a little bit. So both of these areas, just monitoring. Hey, there's that updated radar scan right there. That spot northwest of Toledo, that may be moving in the direction of tornado, folks, Cumberland County. So if you're in Cumberland County, Toledo, Greenup, you're north of there, towards the Coles County area, there may be a issue with that. New tornado warning, southeastern Effingham County as well. So we're here. First off, they're just lining them up here. Remember that storm I said, hey, look at that south of Edgewood by Farina? They've issued a tornado warning for this storm right here, moving to the east. This includes the southern edge of Effingham County, Winterrood, south of Eberly, well south of Effingham and Mason, but still that tornado warning is in effect. Strong tornado near Smallwood, southeast of the lake in Newton, moving off to the north and to the east. That could become a significant tornado in a moment's notice. And then another confirmed tornado from the Chaumière-Patoka area back to the west. That's with this storm right here. No tornado warning yet, Cumberland County, but given what I'm seeing, I would not be surprised if that were to come sooner than later here. Let's go up to Coles County. Severe thunderstorm warning continues. So the leading edge of storms moving into Charleston and Lerna. We've got the Mattoon camera there. It's wet. It's raining. There's some wind probably, but there's nothing that sits out as a tornado potential north of the Coles-Cumberland County line. And that's maybe some good news, but we'll keep an eye. If there's something, maybe it's going to be the southeastern part of Coles County, Charleston, Diona. There it is. Tornado warning, Cumberland, Coles County, developing tornado now south of Lerna. This is going to be in Cumberland County, south of Lerna. There it is. This is going to be a likely tornado in progress, now moving north of Toledo, north of Greenup. It's going to cross here between Greenup and Charleston. It's moving in that direction. We just were pointing that out, and now we have that new tornado warning for Coles and Cumberland County. This does not include Charleston proper. Charleston, it will stay south of you. Mattoon, it's staying well south of you. Lakeland College, southeast of you. It's going to be, though, Diona towards the Fox Ridge State Park. It's going to be, here's Charleston Lake. It's going to be when you make that first curve to the south. If you live between Greenup and the lake there on the southeast side of Charleston, that is going to be moving in your direction, spinning up very quickly. I think it stays to the north of Greenup. I think it stays barely north of Toledo, but likely tornado in progress with this rotation. That new scan picked up very quickly there. That's some of the struggles that we have sometimes with this. And that's what we watch. So this is going to be the Beaumont Public Boat Ramp, Lincoln Log Cabin State Historic Site, Diona, Fox Ridge State Park, Hutton, coming towards you, probably north of Union Center, but not by much. And eventually it's going to carry towards Westfield and the oil field there. That is, woo, that's a tornado there. Looking at that in rotation. Likely tornado now just north of Toledo by 2 miles. Toledo, the polygon actually doesn't include you specifically. Let's zoom in real close here just to make sure. But if you live on the north side of Toledo, you live anywhere north of Toledo towards Cottonwood, east of Neal, up towards Hutton, Diona, this is going to be a potential developing tornado heading towards 130, crossing north of Greenup. Greenup, this misses you, but there can be a rotation that develops further to south and west. We'll keep an eye on that. But that is a potentially developing tornado, potentially a strong tornado that is moving towards northern Cumberland, far southeastern Coles County with that circulation that's showing up there. Let's drop south. We're bouncing around through tornadoes and tornado warnings. Fayette County, tornadoes on the Marion, Fayette. Oop, there we go. Let me fix that here. Tornado still in progress on the Fayette, Marion County line. It's going to be south of Vandalia. This is going to move east, crossing near Farina on I-57. I'm watching Edgewood. I'm watching Mason. We also have another rotating storm ahead of that. This has a tornado warning for southern Effingham County. It's going to be southeast of Farina, right here in northern Clay County, heading to areas towards Blair, Louisville. When you're going south out of Effingham, you go, there's Kevin throwing some water up there. I mean, there's a lot of heavy rain there. You go south here, that's going to be where we're watching that. It does include parts of southern Effingham County. And then the continuing, likely strong tornado now is south of Newton, but not by much right here. That's going to be moving to the north and east, eventually Willow Hill, St. Marie, Oblong, and eventually Crawford County. And what may have happened here, I haven't been watching this as closely. This might have been the old rotation. This could be the new rotation. Sometimes these supercells hand off, but there's two spots that we need to watch. Maybe I can quickly just back that up as that continues off to the north and east. This has been a tornado on the ground since the Louisville area in Clay County. So that's continuing to the northeast. That is probably coming into the southeast side of Newton by Boose, heading towards Willow Hill. Still seeing signs of a tornado right north of Toledo. And just checking things out here. That's going to be moving through the Maple Point, the Diona area, Fox Ridge State Park. This is for far southeastern Coles County. Again, not the city of Charleston. not the city of Mattoon, not Ashmore, but it is a tornado warning still heading towards Hutton. It includes Westfield. It'll pass south of Kansas, I think, south of Ashmore as well. I know Ashmore had a lot of damage, and folks there certainly are a little bit nervous with how things have been with this particular storm. So if you're in a tornado warning, here are some things you can do. Let's give you the guidelines for a tornado warning. And I've done some school visits in Cumberland County. I've done some school visits in Coles County here. First off, tornado warning issued. Go to your safe place right away. We were talking about Cumberland County earlier. Mobile homes are not great places to be. If you're in parts of Jasper, Crawford, or Clark County, you'll want to be getting out of your mobile homes before the tornado warning is issued. No driving. No one should be driving in those areas. No one on 130 between Charleston and Greenup. No one in the Illinois 49 area. We're talking in, down, up. 3 words, in, down, up. These are the words I teach kids here. In, inside, most interior room of your home, down as low as you can. A basement, a low space, different things like that. Cover up as you can as well. And we will be giving you the all clear. West of I-57, Neoga, you're good. Mattoon's good. Charleston is good. And we are having coverage right here online with that. Meteorologist Adam Sharinsky is also in the studio here. Adam, you've got a little bit more on some severe weather safety tips. Go ahead and take it. Can you give me about 2 or 3 minutes? And I need to check some data and take care of things. And so, Adam, what you got?
So I was going to piggyback off of basically what you were saying there, too. And if you're thinking, okay, what about my house? Not everyone has a basement. We mentioned that last week when we had the severe weather rolling through on Wednesday. Not every home has a basement, but if you do have a basement, that's obviously one of the best spots to be in. Probably one of your concerns, you're thinking, wait, if we have all this rainfall, what about flooding? The tornado takes precedent over the water coming into the basement, obviously. Let's say you don't have one. Okay, you've got your bedroom, your garage, your kitchen, your living room. You want to be interior. That's the key thing to all of this. Closet, you've got multiple walls. That's the key component to it. In the hallway right there, multiple walls. That's the thing. You want as many walls around you as possible. Staircase, too, a good spot too if you have multiple walls around you. I keep saying the same spot, but I'm going to keep reiterating it because it's very true. You don't want to be huddled up in the bedroom. You don't want to be huddled up in the garage either, especially with those doors. Probably not going to be the safest spot. Living room, not necessarily good. Look, you're just right outside of the periphery. You want to make sure you have as many walls as possible around you, extra layers, like a turtle shell almost. The deck, not a good spot. Bathroom's iffy. Getting in the tub, covering up in the tub is one of your good spots to be into. And if there isn't any glass in the bathroom too, that helps a lot. I know some of those privacy windows are a little bit less glass full. So there you go. Avoid windows and make sure you're in an interior room with no outside walls. Cover yourself with blankets or a mattress for protection. I've heard of folks kind of taking their mattress, putting it over them, or a blanket, a bunch of blankets and pillows, and hopping in the tub too. Obviously, the basement is the best spot. But again, not everyone having a basement. That's the key thing. And as we mentioned before, the mobile home, not necessarily the best spot to be in. So just be mindful of that as we have these storms coming through. These are your safe spaces you want to be in. Again, we've had multiple tornado warnings across the region. And we've already had multiple confirmed tornadoes too. We want to make sure we're staying in step with this and that you already know what to do if that severe weather is already happening. Actually, Jacob, I just messaged somebody from the Newton area. They're thankfully not home, but they're worried about their home. So I would say, Newton, if you're already in that kind of polygon, we've been watching that pretty big, broad rotation. That's going to be something to watch out for in the Newton area and the Jasper County area. That's one we're really keeping an eye out for. We're keeping an eye on all of them, but that one's going to be kind of caught our attention the most. Right, Jacob?
Yeah, that's right. Just got some information. I-57 at the Neoga exit, and a semi is flipped. I-57 is closed both north and southbound because of the crash there. So I-57 is closed at Neoga. Don't know what caused that, but that's something that I'm just noting here with the storm coming through. And they're saying a semi overturned in the construction zone. And I hear Kevin. Is he still cutting in and out? Is that what I hear in my ear? Okay, Kevin's cutting in and out. But I-57 is closed at Neoga due to a crash on the interstate. Just to note, there's no exit between Lakeland College and Effingham I-70 there. So that's a large stretch of real estate where I-57 is now closed due to a crash in the construction zone. And that's what we're seeing. Just kind of watching the chat here, monitoring things, also keeping an eye. Still have that likely tornado now south of Charleston, north of Greenup. And let's get the velocity back out. I think that's going to tell us the best about what's going on with that. It looks like the Clay Jasper County storm is lifted. That doesn't stand out as strong to me. That's still north of Toledo. kind of watching that and checking some other information here. Then I'm getting some messages. Still in Jasper County, though, in the Newton area, potential tornado. It looks like it's lifted, but it's potentially cycling. And then still watching those storms south of Effingham. Those are not going to be an Effingham City problem, but those may be a far southern Effingham County issue as well. Clark County, I'm getting a number of reports of sirens going off in Martinsville. Getting reports, I heard an earlier one, I think it was in Westfield, and that's because of this storm here. As it moves stuff to the north and the east, it's going to pass 49 between Casey and Kansas near Westfield, Oilfield. This will be in southeastern Coles County, south of Lake Charleston on 130, Hutton, Diona, Fox Ridge State Park, places like that. It'll be just north of Casey, probably closer to the oil field, Westfield. The oil field store in Westfield is where this is heading in general. Just getting some new, maybe my phone's just catching up. I can't give it all clear for Neoga. Sigel, all clear. Mattoon, I'm going to give you an all clear here. I think I can probably, let's talk Effingham again, just check on our folks down there. There still are tornado warnings in Effingham County, but most of the tornado warnings are because storms are just south here. So Altamont, Effingham, Lake Sarah, Shumway, Beecher City, you're good. South of Effingham, east of Effingham, there is a lot of heavy rain and storms. The tornado threat maybe is just south of the area, northern Clay County. The Newton storm, no confirmed tornado as of now anymore, but it's likely cycling, and that's very near Newton, if that there. Then also, we still have that Cumberland and Coles County storm here, and Kevin's in the rain. He's probably behind it. The issue is that with these storms, there's a lot of heavy rain. In fact, the Weather Prediction Center has just highlighted the National Weather Service passing along saying, hey, 2 to 3 inch an hour rainfall rates possible with this. And I have a feeling somebody that's in the middle of that is Kevin. Do we have Kevin there? Or are you, we'll see where his location pops up. He's back here still to the kind of in the backside in that rain as he's working his way towards Toledo and Greenup. Kevin, are you on 121 or are you moving east towards Toledo? Is that where you're at, Kevin? Can you hear us? Okay, we may not have Kevin, but you can see there's a storm tracker shot. Yeah, he's moving east here on 121 towards Toledo. He just passed the Montrose split there, and it's moving east. You're seeing the water fly up there. And a lot of torrential rain. The flooding threat seems to be taking off as well with that. So Kevin's doing his best. I've not seen any reports of damage in Cumberland County, but certainly there may be some out there. There's a pretty strong signature north of Toledo. I did get a text from the newsroom. No, need to check that out. No, I think they said no reports of damage in Cumberland County yet, according to the sheriff's office. That was as of 4:05, but we'll see how that affects things. Just got a new tornado warning for southeastern Effingham County. Adam, I'll come to you in a second. I'll talk about this here. That's going to be for a storm right on 45 in the county line. It's going to move north and east, Eberly, Winterrud. Here's Dietrich. It's south of you. It's going to be south of Effingham by a long shot, but the southeastern part of the county, if I turn on the velocity, again, this just looks here with the reds and greens and yellows, how intense the rain is. This here's the circulation. Actually, that's a new circulation that's developed by Blair. Is that the other one to the south there that lifted to the north and the east? Is that what that is here? Kind of fun. Yeah, that's the same circulation, but it's taking a more northeast path. This is going to carry into southeastern Effingham County. So if you're from Elliottstown south, Eberly, Winterrud, tornado shelter now. Likely tornado at 45, just south of the county line, north of Blair. Should stay north of Bible Grove. It's going to be moving again towards Jasper County. We did have that earlier big tornado, and I have a feeling there is, just for our friends in Newton, potential tornado now in Newton, right in the middle of town. That's what that is there. And if it's not on the ground, it's strengthening. I'm pretty sure this is the old circulation. So we've got that new one that's developing there. Let me just bring up, confirmed tornado, a tornado in the city of Newton. Tornado in the city of Newton with that storm there. And so, we were seeing the old circulation include new tornado down now in Newton, moving off to the north and east. Dangerous situation. Hunt City, Willow Hill, anyone east of town in Illinois 33 from Newton all the way over towards Oblong. Jasper County, confirmed tornado reported in the city of Newton. is what we've got with that here. And so keeping an eye on it very closely. Large tornado, Jasper County. Large tornado, large dangerous tornado, Jasper County, city of Newton. Very concerned about that storm. Looking here, Coles, Cumberland County, rotation's going to be near Diona now. It's kind of embedded. Now lock your eyes in this area. Here's 130. Here's Diona. There's Charleston. Down here is where Greenup is. There's Toledo. The reds and the greens are going to be in the middle here more than likely. I think they're wrapped up in the rain, and that makes it very hard to visualize what exactly is happening. So if I'm looking, I think it's going to be, right here. Maybe the rotation not as obvious, but I'm going to look at different radars and try and make sure I'm getting different views, because the radar beam over Cumberland County is not the greatest, but that's still an area we have to watch. And that's now getting ready to cross into southeastern Coles County. It'll be south of Charleston, not by much, but Charleston, I think if you're in Charleston proper, this misses you. And then south of Ashmore, I am going to say, we're just going to watch. Let me look at radar here. Adam, I'll be at you in a second. I apologize. Just making sure I'm not missing something here. I just want to make sure nothing's going to try and spin up here over Mattoon. Let me see what the radar looks like. We'll keep an eye on that little feature right there, southeast side of Mattoon. I don't think that's anything at this point. I think the warm front's a little farther south there, but we'll watch. There might be something to keep an eye on over there as well, but that's what we're sitting at. We've not talked about Adam, and we'll get him in here. We've not talked about places like Champaign, Decatur, Springfield. Those areas not affected. Right now, we've got Coles and Cumberland, and then we've got the large, extremely dangerous tornado that's passing through the city of Newton. And we continue to watch these storms, but it's pretty localized to an area. And it looks like Adam's maybe resetting on me there. Are you ready, Adam? Yeah, Adam, go ahead and take over. What you got?
I was just going to mention
saying?
A lot of folks are saying in the chat, what about Danville? What about Charleston? Or not Charleston, but Champaign, Urbana, Tuscola, the areas that we're talking about obviously have been further south. If you know your geography, which I get is not what everyone knows. Not everyone knows all the towns there in Effingham County or Jasper County or even into Crawford County. Totally get that. But you can even just see by radar where the most intense activity is south of Charleston and Mattoon, really. And yes, it does. That tornado warning did include parts of it, and it still does parts of Coles County. But we're focusing on the area where the rain has obviously been the heaviest, which makes this already difficult enough to try and see what's going on. Again, just the fact that we're getting confirmed reports is kind of a miracle within itself, because it's so hard to see rain-wrapped tornadoes. I've seen some pictures of possible tornadoes earlier on from some of the spots there, and I can tell you right now that when you have these rain-wrapped tornadoes, they're one of those, we think that's what we are looking at right now, because they're not as clear as some of the images we had from Wednesday. Once they started to become rain-wrapped Wednesday, that's when we had more of the problem, and they become more dangerous situations. But we're watching, obviously, further to the south. I-70 in areas along just north of it, and definitely south of it too. So I want folks to understand, if you're watching at home, you're saying, what about me in Champaign? What about me in Danville? You guys are fine. We're not talking about you guys, and we're not kind of worked up about you guys. It's okay. Decatur, obviously not having rain right now. Neither is Springfield, nor is Taylorville. We got a few showers just outside of town. So I want to make folks kind of clear on that. What we're really concerned with, you can hear it in our studio too, is now we're starting to see more of that rainfall, again, obscuring things for the severe weather to the south, adding to the flash flooding concerns down south too as well. And for us here at home, kind of watching out for that too here locally for more flooding concerns here. Again, we've seen most of that activity, most of those warnings south where the heaviest storms have been, but that's what we're really watching out for right now. And right now I know Jacob's getting more information so he can keep talking here in a minute. I'm just kind of making sure we get more of an overview. So Jacob, back over to you.
All right, thanks, Adam. Large debris signature on radar in the Newton area. This is an extremely dangerous situation in Jasper County. That is our confirmed tornado. It does not look good with what is going on there. I'm just checking some information, and I need to switch radars because they're down there. But we're really concerned about Jasper County and the city of Newton, not far from where tornadoes hit just Wednesday with that storm. And so seeing some reports, there's some damage reported in town. I don't like the way that looks, frankly, with Newton County. And let me just confirm here some of that information. Still have Cumberland, Coles County tornado warning. Seems to be coming apart a little bit, which is some good news. It's more broad in that area, but we're kind of seeing at times with these rotations ebb and flow a little bit. So again, Mattoon, Coles County, Charleston, if you're along the 16 between there, you're going to get some wind. That's a given. There's going to be some heavy rain. It's going to be a little scary. This is our first storm after a big tornado came through just a few days ago. And that's always the toughest moment here. There'll be more storms to come, but they always end. We always get through them. We're always here with you for that. But I don't have concerns for tornado warning in the Mattoon area at this point. We'll keep an eye on. There's some wind. I know there's some wind up there based on what I'm looking at. So kind of monitoring as many things we can. Still, again, looks like Diana area power is out. Seeing some other comments about that. Toledo green up. Give me a little bit more to clear these out. You know, there's going to be some windy storms up there. I really think that's the case. But boy, that Newton storm, that may not have been a good situation. Willow Hill, Hunt City, your time is up to shelter there. Wow. Okay, so here's that debris signature, folks. Just to give you an idea, this is what it looks like when there's a large tornado, and this is the city of Newton. Newton is not a small town here. Last time Newton got hit badly was, you may got to go back to 1990, June 2nd. They had an F4 tornado down that way. I'm not saying this rivals that, but it's been a while since we've had a direct strike on the city of Newton, and it appears that that's the case for us with folks in Jasper County. That is a strong debris signature, and look how quickly it popped up there. All right, so confirmed tornado continues in Jasper County. We want to make sure we're getting a look at all the other things. I also hear Kevin now. Kevin, can you give us an update on where you are and what you're seeing? I'm expecting, Kevin, that you've got more flooding than you do wind damage. How's that rain? It's heavy, isn't it?
Oh, I am telling you, this has been the worst rain that I've had to drive in a long time. There is water. And again, if you know anything about kind of western and southern portions of Cumberland County, a lot of little low spots there you kind of come into. And I'm just north of Toledo now, is my location, and an incredible amount of rain. There, listen, a couple times, you know, kind of lose a little control there. Some of that hydroplaning, that's a real thing. Again, I'm just north of Toledo, so I'm trying to see if, you know, this essentially is where a path would have been if there was something here. I'm going to be between Toledo and Bradbury as I'm kind of traveling here to the north. And so I just kind of wanted to come up here and see if we've seen any damage or anything. But more than anything, it has absolutely been the incredible amount of heavy rainfall. And again, I'm just kind of coming into where I think that path where this would have went across just north of Toledo. I didn't really see much in Toledo when I was there. But again, we're continuing to travel to the north and east. We're going to be basically halfway between Janesville and Toledo in the Bradbury area. So I may peel off here to the east just a little bit and see if we can see anything. But so far, nothing is standing out to me as far as damage here. But we're going to keep kind of checking. We're on the very edge of this tornado warning right now. Just trying to kind of keep up with it. But it's been impossible to really keep up with this because of just how heavy the rainfall has been. But I'll yell at you if I see anything else. We're going to peel back here off to the east here, County Road 1050 North. And again, that may be kind of crossing over the path. So, so far, nothing. And I can see there, looks like maybe Cumberland County Sheriff just kind of passed me. He didn't seem to be going, you know, towards anything significant without any lights on. But again, we'll let you know if we see anything else. But for now, the storm tracker in Cumberland County, basically, again, near Bradbury, we'll send it back to you.
Well, I hope he's not looking for you, Kevin, because I don't know if folks like us driving in their neighborhoods when storms like this are happening. But as we're well aware, that storm tracker serves a very useful purpose. And having Kevin out there, pretty good to have Kevin's reports. And if he's not seeing damage yet, if he does see it, we're going to go right back to him and check in. All right, so we've got 4 tornado warnings still here. Watching southeastern Effingham County, that little circulation is now over Winter Road. That is between Eberly and Winter Road, moving into Jasper County here. And you'll see the velocity. It's a little bit messy, but that's where that general circulation is. It won't be long before it gets out into the Jasper County area. Big heads up. Big tornado just came through Newton. Very large tornado. Some damage being reported up there. These additional areas of rotation may be following that there. Currently looking at a large area of rotation now. Deers Willow Hill between Willow Hill and Hunt City, maybe the north side of Willow Hill or whatnot in this area. That's going to be a strong circulation that continues off to the north and east. Crawford County, undoubtedly a new tornado warning for a confirmed tornado coming your way. It's also going to be southern Clark County here. That'll be south of Marshall. Marshall, we still got to watch this circulation up by Greenup, but this is going to be more Robinson. There's, in fact, is the new tornado warning there just for Crawford and Clark County. From south of Marshall, it's really going to be Robinson, the Crawford County Airport, Palestine, Hudsonville, Oblong. This is moving in the direction of there, and they've had their fair share of tornadoes back in February in that area. That is, by and large, the strongest circulation over the Willow Hill area moving off to the east. It'll keep it south of Moonshine. It's moving off to the north and east-northeast there. So here's Cumberland County. This is going to be south of Hazeldale, going to be down 49, 7 or 8 miles south of the Cumberland County line, which is good news for us locally. Bad news for our friends, though. Big tornado, folks, heading towards Dogwood, Licking, south of Hunt City, Willow Hill, Porterville. There's Moonshine. It'll be passing just south of there. It's going to cross Route 1 somewhere near or just north of Robinson, close to Hudsonville. And then it crosses over into Indiana, north of Marome, the Marome power stations down there as it moves in that direction. So Crawford, southern Clark County, watching you. Coles and Cumberland County. Let's get back to you. Rotation still near Diona. Doesn't look as organized. Though I do recognize we're fighting radar data that's a little bit higher than we'd like here, but that's going to be where that is, near Diona now. Moving off to the north and east, Westfield, it's moving towards you. It's more broad, no signs of it being really tight and close together, but you got to start somewhere, right? So maybe it's coming in the downtrend. Nothing says it won't pick back up. Charleston, severe thunderstorm warning continues. Tornado threat is southeast of you, not by much, but it's southeast of you enough, which is what we need. Mattoon, Lake Paradise, Cooks Mills, Humboldt, places to the west, Shelby County, Moultrie County, you're all clear. And I don't think we're going to have to worry about some additional storms. Adam, I know you're in here. If you can just check Future Track for us and just make sure we're not looking at anything else that's developing, not a second wave coming. I don't think that's the case, but it's never a bad idea to keep an eye on that. I'll let you do some looking into that for us here and give us a report. Back down to Effingham County. Strong rotation. Ooh, that's a strong circulation there near Kinmundy. That's going to be northern Marion County. That's going to carry into Clay County again. Louisville, that circulation now is northeast of Bible Grove, kind of down towards the Eberly area, the Winter Road area. But thankfully, this is going to soon be moving enough to the east where we can give an all clear for all of Effingham County. If you're east of Mason, south of Dietrich, still going to be watching for you. Effingham proper, west of I-57 in Effingham County, and north of I-70 in Effingham County, really even down towards Chitopolis and Montrose and Dietrich. I think we can breathe a sigh of relief. Your threat coming to an end. But boy, not far away, maybe a chance for another sizable tornado to come into Clay County, Bible Grove, Louisville. And that warning, depending on how it moves, could again clip the far southeastern parts of Effingham County before all is said and done. Whew. Wow. Continuing to see signs of a sizable tornado. Kevin, you said Kevin's trying to talk to me? Or Adam? Adam is. Continue to see signs of what could be a sizable tornado there in the Jasper, Crawford County area. So we're watching that. We're keeping an eye on Coles and Crawford County. And then just getting some info from news. Nothing that we're concerned about at this point. Adam, you say in the Future Track, what you got an update for us?
One of the versions of Future Track we've got pulled up, and I'm going to just stay off camera real quick just so I can operate this. It does show more thunderstorms popping up right behind it. On a max 1, yeah, it's where you got the view. But you can see more thunderstorms popping up right behind. I'm going to play it back one more time. But right behind this main line of storms popping up right there, just some single cells, individual cells. I don't know if the environment's going to be as favorable for more robust thunderstorm activity. Not sure. But I will say that it's still something to keep an eye out for. This is just one version of Future Track. Behind that, storms finally move out of here by about 10 o'clock at night. This is a different version of Future Track. Very similar, but it doesn't give us that storm feedback right behind it. You'll notice that it gets pretty clear. I'm going to play it back again. After this main conglomerate of storms, once you get to about 10 o'clock, there really isn't much to talk about, and even the backside storms don't look as impressive. Again, little kidney shapes trying to show up a little bit here, but I don't know if the environment's going to be too tapped out for anything robust here. So we're going to keep an eye on it, but there is some on the backside, just not another line of storms, just little individual cells that we need to keep an eye out for. So that's what we got from Future Track on one of our more short-range versions of Future Track. Jacob, also been messaging folks there that are in the Newton County area and the Crawford and Jasper County area, and just kind of letting them know what's been going on. So far, I haven't heard any reports, but I will report back as soon as I can.
Okay, Adam, thanks for that. Let's go to Kevin with some flooding. Kevin, what you got? Where you at? Kevin, are you there? Can you hear us? Okay, I don't hear Kevin, but he's looking at some flooding there, and you can see that water going over the road. We'll try to get with Kevin again. I don't know if he's setting his drone up. Let me see if I can get his location real fast here. So, Kevin, are you there by chance? We'll give him one last chance here. Kevin, can you hear us? Maybe he stepped out of the car.
How are you?
He's talking to someone there. Okay, so let's stick with me here and watch flooding ongoing there in Kevin's location. Looks like he's going to be, I know he's in Cumberland County. I think he's north of Toledo towards Cottonwood, between Toledo and Diona. There he is. Sounds like this flooding spot he's at, fairly common. We'll hear from him, but he's there south of Campbell, southeast of Johnstown, west of Maple Point, and kind of watching that heavy rain. I mean, there's some flooding there. Look at there. We'll get a report from him in a minute. Hey, Adam, are you able to check power outage numbers as well?
I can.
Get a chance to just, yeah, we don't need the map necessarily, but, you know, if you hear of any reports, I haven't seen many in the chat either. We're on our digital platforms here and just kind of monitoring things. Remember, I-57 is closed between Effingham and Mattoon, the Lakeland exit, because there was a semi-rollover in the construction zone. It's blocking the lanes in that construction zone, both north and southbound. And so that is the case there. Looking here, tornado warning does continue, but we're getting to a point where the storm is outrunning the tornado warning. And just seeing the National Weather Service has extended this with a severe thunderstorm warning. That's going to be for northern Clark, southern Edgar County. Now talking Paris, Kansas, going to be Marshall, Casey, Westfield. They've opted to extend this with a severe thunderstorm warning. The red outline does mean tornado possible tag. While there's not a tornado immediately happening, it cannot be ruled out that this could develop into that there. And so that's what we're continuing to watch. Just got a report of a tornado on the ground by Kinmundy. This is south of Effingham, east of I-57. Let me just update the National Weather Service. There will be a confirmed tornado coming here for this storm east of Kinmundy. Here's Effingham County. This is coming into Clay County. This was on that front. Man, I'm so happy we had that morning rain to keep this south a little bit, because if this was up 20, 30 miles more, we'd be having some problems in the same areas impacted. But I feel for those people that are in the path of this. So Louisville, Flora, going to be north of the Iola area. North of the Xenia area, I should say, towards Iola there, south of Iola. Tornado coming in that direction. And then we still have this confirmed tornado on the ground now north of Oblong in Robinson County. This storm here has the potential to put down an intense tornado. Just looking at that, so our friends in Crawford County wanting to monitor that really closely as it moves off to the east. I think it misses Robinson to the north and west, not by much. A lot closer concern for Hudsonville and Porterville, north of Oblong, south of Moonshine, where that storm is heading. And then the nice thing is that there's that pink box, by the way, Adam. Confirmed tornado there at Kinmundy, but that southern storm, Clay County, at least in our immediate viewing area, maybe we're on the downward slide here, but we're kind of watching this tornado warning. Adam, they have replaced it with a severe thunderstorm warning, tornado possible tag. Walk us through some of the things you're seeing on radar now, Adam.
Just watching that, obviously the one that catches my eye first and foremost is up towards the Newton storm that just moved out, or I should say now moving just into there towards Crawford and Clay County. So just outside of that area there, north of Robinson right now, to the north and west of Robinson, more like west-northwest. But also Kinmundi area up to Louisville. Those have been the spots that we've already seen some tornado warnings, and now we've got a confirmed tornado to catch into too. Just looked at power outage numbers. Oddly enough, the county with the most power outages in the state of Illinois, not in our viewing area, it's Peoria County right now. They've got the most right now. We've only had a handful of power outages so far reported, so that's kind of good news, but also we'll see if those start to pick up, though, as these storms trying to finally move through here. We get more reports of power outages. So, again, if you're in the Louisville area, north of Flora, and out towards Kinmundi, those are the spots you're going to see more of that possibility. Again, it's a very hard line between Louisville, Kinmundi, that little box right there, that polygon, as these storms march to the east and maybe a little bit more to the north and east, but it's staying just outside of our viewing area a little bit there into Clay County. So we're still going to keep an eye on it because that could move into our viewing area. Also, we've got folks down there that have folks that know them as well, too. And then also this Newton storm we're still watching out for. It's just outside of Robinson. If you remember, Robinson not too long ago had that really strong tornado there in 2023 that went right through town, too. Also, they've had some more storms recently, too. Again, this is the same area on Wednesday that had a lot of activity, too. So they're under the gun yet again. That's why we're still watching these storms. And we've got 2 pink boxes, actually 3 pink boxes right now to talk about there. We've got the one right there for Newton, or coming out just outside of Newton there in Jasper County, going off to the north and east. And then we've got the ones right there in Clay County, too. And the one just to the west of that there, just to the other side of Kinmundi. I would say just east of Kinmundi, that's where that circulation is. Hard to see. I got the radar. The radar is really poking up pretty high on it, so it's going to catch the rotation within the thunderstorm, but also it's strong enough that we could say, hey, that looks like it could be a signature for a possible tornado, too. This is coming from the radar in Evansville, too. Again, we're going to keep an eye on that. And with a day like today, where we get those reports, those confirmation reports are kind of a miracle because it is hard to see anything out there. Very low visibility. Again, these are high precipitation events, walls of rain moving through. Take these warnings very, very seriously once you get them in your part of the area. Again, this is not one of those where you go look for it and then take shelter. Take shelter then and there. That is the time to do so. Back to you.
All right, thanks for that, Adam. We're going to send Kevin back towards Neoga. We've got a report from some damage east of Neoga. I'm getting some more information, and Kevin, I'll text you an address for that there, so he can get us a report from that. Adam, are you seeing? I'm also seeing that they've reported some funnel clouds by Farmer City and perhaps a land spout earlier by Peoria. Have you seen that at all in the chat, Adam?
I've seen that from one of our fellow meteorologists up there in Peoria that mentioned it, but I haven't seen anything else aside from what they've been reporting too. That's been going on in the chat, but that's the only thing is from that one from Chris up there in Peoria County.
Okay, go ahead and check radar. Can you walk our viewers through those storms for me real quick? I need to get some information out to Kevin.
Up towards
just to, give us an area-wide view.
Yes.
Walk through and what's going on.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
So we're going to zoom things out a little bit more for folks at home who are not in part of those polygons just yet. We've got basically a really wide swath of rainfall. Obviously, if you're in Champaign, now
Kevin just sent you an address.
And then Danville, another spot seeing rainfall. If we're not talking about you along 72 and 74 northward, that's some good news. We're not talking about you in Arcola, Tuscola, even Charleston. That's another spot we're talking about right now. You guys have already had enough to deal with here. We're talking down closer to the south, hugging towards the edge of our viewing area. Further south you go, that's where the better placement of the opportunity for the ingredients for tornadic activity. We've already seen that with confirmed tornado warnings right now. So again, we're watching this area right here, not showing up on my graphic right now, just to the north and west of Robinson. That cell has already been known to produce a tornado there. Already has a tornado debris signature earlier on, closer towards Newton. And then this cell right here, moving east, marching to the east, not in our viewing area, but just on the edge of it. You probably have some folks that you know down there towards Flora and Clay County, marching closer towards the east. A little bit too far to start talking about Olney just yet, but still worth watching there too. Looks like Effingham right now, not the spot seeing a lot of activity. We're seeing most of it staying just to the south and to the east of that, getting closer towards the Wabash River. Not too long from now, a lot of this activity will start moving into the Terre Haute market and into parts of just the other side of the Wabash River Valley. So that's why we're watching all of this, because again, a lot of folks in our viewing area are not under the gun, but the ones who are already been impacted from storms earlier this week. So that's closer towards Robinson. If you're around there, I'd say, hey, watch out for that tornadic storm we've been watching too. And Kinmundi is another spot too, north of Flora. South of Effingham is a lot of this activity. South of I-70, that's where we're keeping a lot of that focus for today. And just like we are seeing in Champaign and Danville and out toward Hoopeston, even into Paris, a lot of heavy rainfall, they too are seeing that. That's obscuring a lot of things too. So take these warnings very, very seriously. Again, that's the key thing to all of this. You're not going to see the big damage, the big tornado as it comes this way. You need to make sure you're in your safe space. Jacob?
All right, thanks, Sir Adam. I appreciate you being here. And I think what's going to happen is, based on where trends are going, by 5 o'clock, we're probably going to wrap up our television coverage, get back to regular programming. I think we've got golf on, I think. But that may be in time for CBS Evening News. But we're going to kind of target that 5 o'clock time frame as a time to wrap things up here. Given how storms are moving, given the severity of these storms down towards the Effingham area, we've got a lot of flooding reported. Kevin's seeing plenty of that. He's now moving on the bottom right of your screen towards Neoga, where some damage reported in the east side of Neoga. Not in town. It seems to be east of there a little bit based on the information that I had, but he's going to get that direction and let us know there. And then the tornado warning is still in effect here for Coles and Cumberland County, technically, but it's moving to the east. The rotation not as obvious. Still now Edgar County, why we're probably sticking around here. You can kind of see where our radar is. We're in a spot where we're in between radars. This is clear as day, that rotating storm there northwest of Robinson. This was at one point was a sizable tornado that hit Newton, and we put a call into the sheriff's department down there. They said they didn't have time to talk, but maybe a circulation with another one occluding, something going on where there's two things in place there. Hudsonville, southern Clark County. Here's moonshine in this area. That's where this storm is heading, north of Robinson, north of Palestine, north of the Crawford County Airport, where that storm is heading. And then there's still storms behind it. Confirmed tornado on the Clay County storm. Thankfully, that's moving south of our area, but that's following into Clay County areas that have been impacted by storms earlier. And so we're just really here at this point in TV still mentioning those storms, because a lot of folks in Effingham have been to Newton. Go camping at the lake. There's a lot of connections in those areas. We're primarily here still for this tornado warning that is turning into a severe thunderstorm warning, and I believe that warning drops at 4:45. So that should put us on target for a 5 p.m. On the dot to get back to regular programming. And we just want to watch this severe thunderstorm warning because there still is a little spin in here, and the warmer, unstable air is still ahead of this, kind of pinching it off a little bit here. But I can't say Coles County, all of Coles County. I'll go ahead and give you the all clear. And all of Cumberland County, I'll give you the all clear. We're now looking here from Kansas to Westfield to Casey, off to the north and east into areas from Paris and to the south there. Just monitoring for some wind potential with that. Clark County, there it is. Talk about a handoff of a circulation. Let me back this up. You'll see the southern circulation through Willow Hill. Maybe I can do this a little smoother than that here. Let me change that to the last 30 minutes. And that's super fast, so we'll slow that down. Here we go. Crazy what this storm is doing. This was that storm tornado there, came out of Newton near Willow Hill. That southern circulation kind of including new sizable tornado potentially developing, going to cross Route 1 pretty close to Hudsonville, if not north into southern Clark County there. And that's going to carry it across the Wabash River into Indiana. Still talking about it. That's definitely a big, mean storm, but maybe we're in between tornadoes with that and monitoring things here. I'm not terribly worried about storm activity afterwards, and I've just been trying to look at some of the data as well. There may be something akin to cold air funnels, perhaps. A lot of wind shear in the atmosphere today. I mean, you look up, you'll probably see clouds moving different directions, but some of these little showers, cells here, maybe are able to tap into enough wind shear. They try and spin a little bit. I mean, there's that low pressure center close by. Had an earlier funnel cloud reported near Farmers City. Had another one there. I think it was Tazewell County. And that's what I think that is. This isn't the type of destructive tornado setup up here. More akin to that cold air funnel that shows in place. But that's something, we'll keep an eye on it. Really, it's just rain coming on those areas here. The tornado watch is down to the south and east where the more sizable threat is and what's going on. Just got another report of a tornado in Marion County coming into Clay County, north of Kimmondy, heading east towards Louisville. They've actually extended a new tornado warning down Mount Vernon. Really unstable area. I mean, to have that morning rain up here, this morning, if you were watching, came across north of I-72 there. That kind of helped to force that warm front from lifting farther to the north. We weren't far away from this mess being here, and how much different our day would be. Finally, we're kind of heading to the tail end of our TV coverage. We'll keep our digital coverage going, but to see those storms in place, that's what's going on with that. Say that again, Madison. Hard out at 5. Okay, that sounds good. If something happens, we'll adjust that if needed, but that should be a good spot to mark that programming. And Kevin, I know, is on his way to some damage in the Neoga area, so we're going to try and get in a report from them. Okay, Cumberland, Coles County. Again, I gave you the all clear. Effingham County, we're just going to watch. Hey, Adam, can you turn the Effingham camera south and west for us and just kind of watch that little cell there just to make sure? Because even though there's been rain and storm activity to the south here, I just want to keep some eyes on that. But there's that storm now, confirmed tornado east of Kimmindy heading towards Louisville. That's south of Effingham County. Just watch that. Keep an extra set of eyes on that there. We want to watch everything. Probably a new tornado warning coming for southern Jasper County. Looking at that right there, the West Liberty area, increasing rotation, southeast of Newton. That's going to follow closer to the city of Robinson. So heads up, southeastern Jasper, central Crawford County. There may be another tornadic storm coming your way. Just seeing that rotation pick up a little bit there. But I like where we're heading for at least our coverage area, with certainly still some wind and some problems there. But yeah, I don't see anything. Mattoon, Charleston, there's nothing, no rotation showing up here. I mean, there's just, let me look at radar. I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of green and red here, but it's not close together. It's kind of an awkward spot. It's kind of north of the warm, unstable air. So to get something there can be a little tougher. What I'll do is I'll just take the Mattoon camera. I think I've got it up. Adam, you're watching that Effingham camera.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to take that Mattoon camera and just kind of peek at it and keep eyes to the north and east just to make sure. But I don't see anything concerning in Coles County at this point. So there's a Mattoon camera. It's taken me a hot minute to get that camera to want to turn for me. Are you having luck getting the Effingham camera turned there, Adam?
Yep, I'm just watching it right now.
Okay, well, let me see if you can turn that Mattoon camera and turn it to the north and the east. I'm not able to log into it for some reason here.
I can do that.
Okay, so Adam's going to turn that Mattoon camera. We're just taking another swoop and eyes. Radar doesn't suggest there's anything. I mean, there's going to be low clouds and wind shear. We expect that, but once he gets that camera, currently that is looking to the
It's not letting me get
south. It's not letting you in either.
Yeah.
Sometimes that happens. We'll see if we can fix that. But yeah, I mean, there's going to be some wind shear out there, Adam. There's going to be some folks are messaging, and they're rightfully so. They're nervous up in the Coles County area. I get that. Given how this week's gone, I'd be nervous too. But I think that we're looking much better here in Coles County. No concerns, I-72. No concerns, I-74. If you're not in the tornado watch, we're not talking about you because we're not worried about you. But kind of monitor things here. So let me check. Mattoon, yeah, there's just nothing that's substantial that's there. So not worried about that. Really, it's Edgar County, Clark, Crawford, Jasper. And then we're just going to keep a close eye on southern Effingham County, make sure one of these storms doesn't slip on in. We've got the Effingham camera pointed to the south and west one by Farina. But really, the Louisville storm in Clay County and the Robinson storm getting ready to cross into Indiana are the bigger problems. There is a new tornado watch going to be for West Indiana. I don't expect that to include any additional Illinois counties. We should see that populate soon. So that's something that we'll watch. But that's going to carry out towards Bloomington, Indiana, Indianapolis, places like that, based on the information that I'm seeing pop on in. So we'll expect that pretty quickly to appear. That new Indiana watch is going to go until midnight. Did they already extend that? Nope. Okay, it's not popped up yet, but it's going to be for Vermilion and Park County, Indiana. New tornado warning, Jasper County. Hey, you remember that rotation we were pointing out? We were saying, watch out, southern Jasper County. Zoomed in a little too far there. Southern Jasper County, south of Newton. And this storm right here, there's that new developing tornado. Very close to area south of Newton. Very close, heading towards Greenbrier, Robinson, Honey Creek for the southern part of of Crawford County there. And so that's another circulation that's developing. We're waiting for Kevin to get in a position. But Kevin, maybe you can talk a little bit now while you're on your way to Neoga. Kevin, you able to hear us? Where are you at? And those roads, there's a lot of water out there.
Man, there's water everywhere. I mean, yeah, again, we saw a ton of rain. And when that rain was coming down, it was coming down heavy for, 45 minutes at that clip. So there's just water everywhere down here into Cumberland County. So again, I'm making my way back towards Neoga to look at maybe some of that damage there that is being reported there east of Neoga. And I am about 10 or so minutes away. You can see the trucks here in front of me kind of going through where there is some of that water ponding here on these county roads where an incredible amount of rain has fallen. So again, we're just trying to keep, we can't really go too fast because, all of a sudden you come upon just this huge area of, of water standing in the roadways there. So we're just kind of monitoring that carefully. And like I said, we're about 10 minutes away from where that potential damage was located. So maybe it'll be a close call to try to get to it by as we wrap up our coverage here at 5 o'clock, but we should be there definitely for our newscast here. So for right now, again, we're just between, just east of Neoga now because we kind of had to turn around and come back through. Kind of interesting, some of that where that damage is being reported, not entirely sure. It looked like that circulation was a little bit east of that, but we're going to come upon it and see what we can see, and we'll have another report coming up.
All right, sounds good, Kevin. And if the newsroom and maybe Adam, you can help, just let them know. We'll have Kevin live. I know production's listening. We'll have Kevin live for the 5:30 newscast, and we're going to keep our digital coverage going as well through 5:20, 5:30 at least here. When the newscast is going on, we'll kind of bounce back and forth. Assuming golf is proceeding still, as if golf runs late, is it basketball now? Okay, wrong sport. Whoops. And they score a touchdown. Is that how that goes? All right. So still watching these storms here, but if we'll see what's going on. Adam, why don't you just step around here? You're trying to chit chat real quick.
Yeah, sorry. Just looking at the camera right now. If you look at the Effingham camera real quick, one of the harder things is, yes, we're watching a storm that's pretty far away, but two, eyes want to play tricks on you because you see these little scud clouds come up by, and I'll step back on frame here on camera. You see these little scud clouds coming through, and my brain wants to go, that might be a funnel. Not necessarily. What it probably is just rising motion. Plus, we've got so much shear happening with these thunderstorms that it gets split up a little bit. Looks like it's moving really quickly. Again, not like what we saw on Wednesday where we had that clear cut funnel on the ground there just northeast of town, but it does play some tricks on me. So I want viewers to know at home, if you see something that looks like a funnel, you have to watch and make sure that it's actually rotating. It's actually doing what a funnel does, not just it looks very scary. So just keep that in the back of your mind, but it is making it hard to watch this camera real quick. I'm going to keep eyes on that storm, though, just south of Effingham, just so we can get a view. But again, the rain making it so hard to do so. We have these high precipitation events. It makes everything more obscure. I'm sure that Kevin is having trouble just identifying a few things just because of how much rainfall there is out there. So just be mindful of that it's going to be hard for us to visualize anything, and it'll be definitely hard for you to visualize at home. So we take these warnings very, very seriously. Jacob, over to you.
Yeah, at some point I'll get the chance to share them, but that was a pretty big tornado from some of the photos in the Louisville area. Strong tornado that came through there earlier. Another one seems to be coming through that area now. Thankfully, our tornado threat in the WCIA 3 area is trending downward. This storm here, north of Robinson, is closing in on Hudsonville. New tornado on the ground near Annapolis. That's moving across the river, going to be crossing into the Farmersburg, south of Terre Haute on 150 there. So confirmed tornado getting ready to cross the Wabash River. Yes, tornadoes cross the river. They've done it before. They'll do it again. So that's something that stands out. This area is no stranger to big tornadoes that are crossing the river. But there is a confirmed tornado with this storm here in the Hudsonville area, southeastern Clark, and northeastern Crawford counties. That's the circulation, I think, that's producing that tornado. There also is a tornado warning still with the storm down here. And that's in Jasper and Crawford counties. The southern storm, that's going to carry real close to Robinson, if not just south. And that may be just near or south of the path back in 2023. Honey Creek also in line for that. We'll see if it keeps an east-northeast or if it slants a little bit more direct east, a little bit farther away from Robinson, closer to Honey Creek. But those are the two storms there. And then confirmed tornado, Clay County, again heading towards Louisville. This is going to be closer to the Flora area probably than it is, maybe about halfway between, but there's still a tornado down in this area here. Oskaloosa had a report of a tornado between Iola and Xenia. And that's moving out to the east, going to cross 45 near Louisville. They already had a tornado in the Louisville area in the east side earlier with that there. So kind of watching that all play out. And then on further warnings additionally down to the south there. So, Adam, you got another update for us? Go ahead and take it.
Just an update. Now we've got Jasper County with 141 customers without power there. Also, right next door, Crawford County, 160 without power. And then down towards Marion County, not in our viewing area, but they've also been impacted by these tornadoes. Those are the spots that have had the uptick within our viewing area of kind of the more increased power outages here. Other spots would be Peoria County at 2,336 right now, and they've been way away from this. Marion County, again, the second spot, and then Tazewell County also seeing some of that too. They had a land spout earlier there in Pekin. So we're seeing a few more of those power outages starting to come up now, 141 in Jasper County. So the numbers are going to keep coming in as we get more information from these storms. There in Clay County at about 9, Richland 0, 4 in Lawrence County, Cumberland County at 24, Coles at 20, and then that's about it for our viewing area. Fayette County at 104, and then Marion County, the other spot, 3 in Effingham County. So those are a little bit of an update on our power outages as we go forward in time. That storm there just north of Flora is probably the most impressive outside of the one there that is north of Robinson, now getting ready to cross the river right now. So those are our spots we're watching out. If you look at the whole map, though, and I think Jacob's got it pulled up real quick, if we want to glance over at Max 2 real quick, and I'll talk about it, just the entire viewing area, showing that a lot of it's just hovering and nestled into that one corner of our viewing area into the north or the southeast corners of our viewing area. So that's kind of what we're watching right now as these storms start to exit our viewing area. They're going to move into Indiana, but we still have some areas obviously under tornado warnings that are still part of our WCIA 3 weather coverage. But again, that new tornado watch also now for parts of southern and central Indiana. So again, this system is still going to cause some issues there as it gets closer and closer to Terre Haute and also out towards they're in the Bloomington area there, Bloomington, Indiana. So this is going to be quite the mess over the next couple of hours. We're still going to keep an eye on our storms too. Again, we've got one tornado warning that's kind of new, doesn't have a confirmed on it, one with a confirm on it that is over getting closer towards the river, the Wabash River, and then one just south of our viewing area, just north of the Flora area. If I was in the Flora area right now, I'd be taking cover, especially if you're on the north side of town towards Riffle or Rifle. And then the Ingram area, that's another spot too within that tornado warning. Louisville, you've already had a lot going on here for today, but I do need you guys to go back and get ready for more coverage too. There in Clay County, Clay City, under the gun, but not yet in the spot where that rotation really is. It's very slow moving at this point, slower than what it was earlier on. Take coverage though. Again, with the way that today has been with all this rain, hard to see exactly what's been going on across the area. So again, visibility is going to be very poor with these kinds of events. So just take all these warnings very seriously. Again, we got that one over towards West Liberty. If we want to go back to Max 2 real quick, you'll see that we've got more circulations going. Sounds like Jacob has another update for us. Jacob, what do you have?
Yeah, just as we're getting ready to wrap up here in the last few minutes, I want to try and get a report in from Kevin really quick here, and then we're 4 minutes away from ending our television coverage. But what we'll do is we'll stay on our digital platforms. We've got thousands of people on there, and we'll stick with that for another 15, 20 minutes probably before we get to the 5:30 newscast and production. If you can help keep us on that, that would be helpful until we can maybe transition out of that and get ready for the newscast at 5:30. Control Madison, is the newscast look like it's on for 5:30 or what's that status? Okay, he's going to look into that just to hear that. A lot of things there. Look at that water that Kevin's, some ponding of the water that's on the roadways. I did also want to run through future track. Again, there may be more storm activity, and there's a lot of wind shear, so there could be some goofy looking clouds out there. But the severe threat largely seems like it's going to be over for us. Once this line continues on through, maybe some areas of rain and showers, and then we'll talk about some nicer weather in the days to come. And I kind of get the feeling that we may have to play this game next weekend too, Adam, with another bigger system coming our direction. But we'll deal on that another day and enjoy some quiet days between now and then. But it does not seem like this active pattern is going anywhere anytime soon. 4:57 right now, less than 3 minutes from wrapping up this. Let's check in with Kevin one last time. Kevin, Are you close?
Yeah, we're close here. I will tell you this though, and I believe you said something about it. Was traffic being diverted? I was on 121 there, and there was just a conga line of traffic east of Neoga there, and then that 121. So I was just curious if there was. I think you were reporting about maybe an accident or something, but there was a lot of traffic, a lot of semi-traffic, a lot of cars on 121 there. So I was encountering that as I was trying to make my way over here towards the Neoga, but looked like definitely that was the case. So again, a lot of water on some of these county roads, and we're just kind of coming. We're about we're 1.5 miles away from where some of that damage is. So I'll send it back to you just so you can get to your heart out. But I'm going to be coming upon this here in about another minute and a half if there is some damage up here.
Okay, thanks for that, Kevin. We'll keep an eye on that. Southern Effingham County, let's talk about you. New storm with a severe thunderstorm warning. It has a tornado possible tag for southern parts of the county, south of Watson, south of Altamont. It's going to be Mason, Edgewood, Eberly, Elliottstown, Winter Road. Excuse me. So we'll just watch that. That's not an Effingham City problem. I'll just say that here. But we'll keep an eye on that. And then we are still going to drop out at 5 o'clock, but we'll keep the digital. So you got about 80 seconds to do that here. I will say this, again, 57 is closed from Effingham to Mattoon in the construction zone at Neoga. There's a semi rolled over. I got a message about some debris in that area. It's not out of the question. That was that rotation that picked up, and there could be some sort of low-end tornado damage in parts of western Cumberland County. Kevin's going to have an update for us here at the news at 5:30, and he'll have an update on digital platforms before then. So don't go anywhere. If you're watching on TV, flip on over to our app, flip on over to YouTube, flip on over to Facebook, and we'll keep going for another 15, 20 minutes as we have this coverage continuing here. But largely in our viewing area, still keep an eye on wind in Edgar County, Paris. There's some wind coming. Rotation not looking like anything imminent out of it at this point, but we'll monitor and make sure nothing doesn't try and spin up there. If there is something, it'd be south and east of Paris, but it doesn't look that organized. So I think this may be the last time you see us with severe weather coverage. And there's Kevin pulling into this address with some damage there. We'll see if we get a sneak peek. What a tease, right? Got to come back at 5:30. There he is, zooming in, some tree damage there. In the meantime, we'll be tossing to regularly scheduled programming. Thanks for being with us. I'm Jacob Dickey. We'll see you at 5:30. Join us on digital platforms. Audio back on if you can, folks. Are we good in the back, Madison? There we go. All right, we're back here. You're looking at Kevin, some storm damage in the Neoga area. We're continuing our digital coverage with the help of production now. We are off of TV, but Kevin's getting out there. He's going to go look at that and talk to some folks. So we'll see. It looks like a shed's been hit there, some trees down, and that may have been a weak tornado based on the location of that damage. So we'll see if Kevin can give us a report here in just a little bit. All right, let's talk real quick here. If we can, we'll just keep the triple box up and do a little chit-chatting here. Adam, are you able to help out and maybe put together a few forecast graphics?
I can do that.
For the 5 o'clock, maybe. That way we can just keep this digital going. The good news is we're kind of in the wind down here, but we're still having some issues. And just checking the NWS chat as well. They're just saying, yeah, maybe the case. The biggest problems are largely south of our area at this point, which is some good news. But yeah, you can see some of that damage that Kevin's up there talking with folks about. Tornado warning, Clay County continues. Tornado possible north of Flora, moving to the east. It's going to come close to 50 on the east side of Flora, probably closer. It's probably closer to Louisville still. And my mouse is being a little mean to me here. Heading towards Clay City. So that is down there. It's not on the ground as of last reports. Then south of east of Newton, another tornado warning there for southern Crawford. And then our northeastern Crawford County tornado warning has cleared into Indiana. So that is no longer our problem. And then in Edgar County, there's some wind, there's some rain and storms. We're watching Paris. There's a little spot right here near Castle Finn, south of Paris along the county line and Route 1, US 150. That isn't the most impressive thing I've ever seen, but we'll just keep an eye on that as it goes off to the north and to the east, and monitor if any of these little spots can try and spin up, but they don't seem to be imminent. I bet Marshall right now is getting hit with some wind. Whew. Marshall had 70-mile-per-hour winds on Wednesday, a lot of damage downtown. That's a sign there's probably some intense winds coming through those same areas in Marshall. And here's the interstate exit for Marshall. Then you get into downtown and the south side. Probably some strong winds there. It's not out of the question that this could surge out and cause some spin here east of Oliver in southeastern Edgar County. Maybe we can sneak it across the state line before it does any spinny mischief. But Terre Haute, going to be watching closely for that storm. Of course, once it crosses into Indiana, that is our sister station takes that, and we monitor that. So that is what we're looking at. Let me reset the view. And if you can't, go ahead and bring max to full for me. We'll check in with Kevin if he comes back in my ear. Kind of watch things. Looks like basketball just wrapped up. So that should put us on track for our newscast. Switching here to the seat on camera 3 in the back. And we can kind of sit down and relax a little bit more. Wow, new tornado warning there east side of St. Louis. Coming on in, Adam.
Your show or my show?
Oh, it doesn't matter. Just whatever that's there, you know. I don't think you can. I guess you can do it. Yeah, you can just do it in my show. Yeah, because if you do it in mine, that's fine. I'm going to read only on this one. That's for Madison County. Not Madison Director, but Madison County. Thank you, Madison. Oh, we're sitting down here. We're relaxing a little bit more. That tells you about our viewing area. But the tornado event continues for areas just south of us. And then we got the severe thunderstorm warning tornado possible tag near Farina, just southwest of Edgewood. We're going to watch that, and I'm just able to look at some additional data here. I don't see rotation like I did before, but they still have it. It doesn't look the most impressive, but I mean, it's still in an environment where there's a lot of wind shear. So if it gobbles a little instability, it's a different game suddenly as that moves on through. And then the other thing is all of this storm activity further to the east up here. You know, as this line moves on through, this is the main threat. But all this rain and thunder, there's some wind, and you're going to look up and see the clouds, and they're going to be certainly looking a little mischievous, and you're thinking, oh man, but we just don't have the instability up there, and that's going to be evident first by temperatures. Let's take a look at our current temperatures here. You know, we had some spots hit 80 down south, and that's why we got tornadoes. 68 in Mattoon, 67 in Champaign. Now, interestingly, it's back to 77 in Jacksonville, but I believe, Adam, we're not expecting much from another round. Is that right?
Just might be a couple cells that try to pop up. They're already trying to do that there just to the southeast of Effingham. You can kind of see that on radar.
Yeah.
But that would be the most of it there. I think a lot of it northward. Might have to watch out for some shear funnels, too. That's what Chris was mentioning over there in Peoria. Good friend Chris Yates.
Yeah, that's true. It looks like Kevin's back in. And Kevin, are you able to hear us? Kevin?
Yeah. Hold on just 1 second.
Okay, we'll go to Kevin in a minute here. He's lining up to talk to that. Looks like he talked to the homeowners. And his location is just east of Neoga. He'll tell us specifically. He's straight east of Neoga, just on the east side of the interstate, about a half mile east of the school, to give you an idea. And the construction's in there in Neoga is where the interstate is closed. It's not out of the question that may have been a tornado that came through Cumberland County, if not strong winds. I mean, clearly there's some damage there. Kevin, are you able to talk to us now and talk to us more about what they said they saw and what you're looking at?
Yeah, you can see quite a bit of damage here to a few of the barns here. The part of the roof is ripped off on another barn here over to my right. You kind of barely see it there. And then there's debris strewn all the way in those fields that are behind where they're all standing. But they said it was pretty quick, real quick. And it is this kind of little narrow corridor right through here where some of this damage is. And I'm going to put the drone up here in just a little bit. I'm going to try to get it out here, maybe have it coming up here at 5 o'clock to kind of maybe show you guys. But definitely tore some stuff up here. That's for sure. Not a whole lot of damage to the home, a lot of tree damage and kind of twisted, a lot of twisted sheet metal. And like I said, across, you can't see it, and we'll see it maybe with the drone later, but it is just over there where the there's a semi flipped over on 57. And so I don't know if you can see. Let me see if I can zoom in. Yeah, you can kind of see where they've got some of the road blocked over there. So there is a semi flipped. Oof, that's it right there. I'll have to put the drone up to give you guys a little bit of a better view, but definitely some damage. You can see there, some of that sheet metal kind of twisted around the house, around the tree right there. So if you can just give me a second, I'm going to try to put the drone up and get some better images for you here. So we'll send it back to you for right now.
All right, thanks for that, Kevin. Kind of watching that, and I'm actually looking forward to seeing his drone get up in the air and monitor things. So he's going to keep us updated on that. What is that? Fayette County? Let me check what this is. Don't be that storm. Sometimes I can't tell if my phone texts are coming in delayed or what's going on. All right, well, we got a new tornado warning, Fayette County. So that's going to be, I'm guessing, for this here south of Mulberry Grove. So if we're looking, here's Mulberry Grove. I think it's that one, but I mean, they all got, yeah, there's that rotation, Tamalco, heading towards Patoka. In general, that should keep it south of Effingham County, but not by much. So probably the only areas that are left, I mean, look at all those tornado warnings. Wow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tornadic storms in those areas down there. Still looks like, it looks like there's no confirmed tornadoes right now. They're all red boxes, but 6 tornado warnings with storms that are coming in here. And for the most part, I mean, it'll be close, but it should be, Clay County is going to keep getting it there. We still have that tornado warning in Crawford and southeastern Jasper County. Let me take a peek. The northern Crawford County circulation has cleared into Indiana. It's heading towards Farmersburg, north of Sullivan. This circulation here does not look nearly as impressive. That circulation by Dundas, south of Newton, doesn't look all that impressive. This one looks fairly decent, northeast of Flora, northwest of Clay City. And then these out here, look at that. That's actually 3. All 3 of those storms are rotating there in southern Fayette, northern Marion County, eastern Bond County. So there's the one south of Mulberry Grove. There's one on 51 by Patoka. There's one southeast of Vandalia towards Chaubonear. And then you've got the storm coming out of the St. Louis area over the metro. It's got some rotation there near O'Fallon. And the general path of these storms should carry it all south of our area, which is some good news. Just getting some new info. Wow, Vermilion County, Indiana just got a tornado warning. I think that's going to be for that Edgar County storm. That's, yeah, they're going ahead. We talked about that maybe being the case. As that storm moves in, the tornado threat increasing Terre Haute up north towards Clinton, Indiana. And that's with that surge. If you recall us talking, hey, winds are surging out by Marshall. That may allow for something to spin up. It's close, but it's close to the state line. I don't think it's going to be down. I think there's probably some wind that came through Marshall, but it's going to be an Indiana problem as that leading circulation spins up and lifts to the north and east there. So tornado now northwest of likely northwest of Terre Haute, between Terre Haute and Paris on Route 150. And Route 1 continues south to Marshall. It's east of there, on its way out of the county, but that tornado warning is just issued for southern Vermilion County, Indiana, and then part of the Terre Haute metro there. And there's why this little surge may be causing some spin, and that's what they're concerned about with that line moving on through. And let me see if I can draw it here for you. So here's that surge, and here's that. So it's really close to the state line. I don't think we're going to get a tornado warning for Edgar County. I mean, by the time they put it out, it's already cleared off into Indiana there. So watching that, but Edgar County, there's still wind. Don't get me wrong. You know, there's still some rain. There's still some thunder and lightning and things of that. But I don't think the concern for us is a significant problem right now. But, you know, maybe it's making steps towards that, which is why the National Weather Service in Indianapolis decided to pull that tornado warning across the state line there. And we kind of mentioned that earlier. We kind of said, oh, we'll watch out. But maybe Elbridge, south and east on Terre Haute Road, right on the county line of Clark, Edgar, and into Indiana. Might be the spot to have something developed there, but that'll carry off to the north and east to Vermilion and Park County, Indiana. And they are in our coverage area. Technically, Terre Haute market serves them well. Still looks like north of Sullivan. Sullivan got hit in 2023 when Robinson did. Looks like that circulation's north of there in Indiana. On the Illinois side, there's some concern for this storm here north of Clay City. It's got nothing to the south of it, so it's in a favorable spot. Looks like this storm north of Mount Vernon now is a confirmed tornado. I've lost track of how many of those we had. It wouldn't surprise me if this becomes a confirmed tornado issue. Southern Fayette County, just the way things are looking, and then even coming out of St. Louis, strong rotation in the O'Fallon area. Nothing confirmed yet, but I'm not going to be surprised if we see one of those pink boxes pop up there. But confirmed tornado down in Jefferson County, Illinois, Mount Vernon area with that storm coming on through. There's that circulation peeking on in. No severe weather north of I-70 in our area. If you're north of I-70 in our area and excluding Edgar County, the severe weather threat is done, but the leading edge of that is almost there. We're really just a smidge Elbridge area, southeast of Paris. And if you've got some sort of tornado warning on your phone, that's because of the Indiana side with the circulation near Terre Haute lifting to the north and to the east. But Coles County, Douglas County, Moultrie County, Shelby County, we're good right now. Tornado watch continues. We'll watch any of these little developing cells out to the west there. I don't think the environment's as favorable, though, for redevelopment, but that's something we'll monitor. Just some rain and thunder, more than likely. The tornado threat seems to be more to the south, and so that's what we'll monitor. Looking here in Crawford and Jasper counties. In fact, Crawford and Jasper counties, no more tornado warnings in Crawford and Jasper County. That's some good news. So our extended coverage area is now tornado warning free. They're all Indiana problems or south of Vandalia back towards St. Louis and into southern Illinois. But, you know, that's some good news for us here, I think. Okay. Well, we got a newscast coming on. Can we take the drone real quick? This is raw. We're rolling on Kevin's shot on Storm Tracker, aren't we? Is that right, Madison? We're just taking a peek at what's going on. So Kevin's over I-57 in Neoga. And taking a peek at that. Looks like traffic's starting to move there. Somehow they're getting through. So that's what we'll peek at and monitor. Kevin, are you able to hear us? Kevin, yeah. You want to do a quick report for us before we pause for the newscast?
Yeah, sure. So I was just trying to look at so there's this I-70 or this is where they've got that semi. I was trying to find it, and I think it's just behind these trees here. So which is why they've got that closed off there and diverting some of that traffic, as you can see. I'll bring it back over here, though, and to some of the damage. We'll swing it back around. But you may have seen across the field there.
Look at that water.
Yeah, look at the water in the fields there. I mean, that's, you know, there was just a ton of rain. But when we kind of fly it back here, you'll see. So here's the damage like out in the field. I'm going to bring you back in here. And you can see, so part of this barn's roof over here, you can see it, right? And then obviously that one right there, quite a bit of damage. And the one behind it. And then you can also see a little bit of tree debris as well.
Kevin, can you zoom back out and get the field leading up to it?
Which one? On the other side, you mean?
To the west. So like you just showed it, where the corn was standing. Is that corn laying, you know, basically straight under your drone is what it is.
All right. Oh yeah, hold on here. Yeah, it looks like it is. Here, let me get you another perspective. Hold on. Let me just kind of swing it around and bring it back. It's harder to see that at when you're high up, but let me just bring it back. It looks like it is laying down a little bit.
Is it laying down in the direction? It kind of looks
I
like
mean,
some of that corn's
that looks a
converging,
little
right?
Some of that corn is converging, right?
That looks a little swirly. Look at that. So you can kind of see it laying down in that direction. But look at this right here. That's kind of, straight.
Yeah.
So that does look a little swirly right through there.
Give us a wide look if you can.
Give us a wide look if you can.
All right. So let me bring it back. Again, maybe it's better to see it when I'm a little bit more at ground level. Let me see here.
Wow.
Wow.
I will say this too, Kevin. I don't know if this is a you an issue or us issue, but at times it's kind of glitching. And we see the switch Wi-Fi channel due to signal performance on the screen.
Oh, okay. It might be because of my distance from where I'm at. So hold on here. Probably what it was. But yeah, I mean, what's crazy is again how thin the damage path is. And let me bring it back over here. You can see, I'll show you some of the trees. So look at this right here with the tree. Some of the limbs snapped off. Okay. And then a much larger one right here. And then you come back here where it kind of started. I guess I'm kind of curious to come across the road and see on the other side if there's anything. But some pretty big branches here snapped off. Looks like a pretty healthy limb there. So let me just go up. I'm just going to go up and then we're just going to look on the other side. And just look at all that water. Look at the water in these fields. We just got a ton of rain. Not seeing much else. Again, it is a thin little damage path through here, but like the home, it looks like the home's okay. So there are actually two homes here. So there's one right here and then another one right here. And you can see some of the leaves and whatnot, but the home okay, but these barns destroyed. And then all of that is just strewn out in the fields, and it's actually out there a pretty good distance. So I mean, like, that was thrown quite a bit, and you can see those little white panels like way out in the fields there.
Are you looking, is that looking north, Kevin?
So let me try to get my bearings here.
Because
So
I see the
that
BP sign up there.
I see the BP sign up there.
Yes. So again, yes. So right now you're looking due north. That's due north. Due north is right there. And again, I am just east of Neoga, just east of 57. So you're looking at 57 there. That kind of swings by. And where some of those cranes are, where some of that construction is going on 57 there. So definitely, I mean, the good news is again, I've not heard any other real damage, which is great. But yeah, their home's okay, but you can see here a lot of tree damage and a lot of barns. It's like 1, 2, maybe three different barns, or a garage and 2 or 3 barns here that have been damaged. That silo and bin are actually okay, but yeah, it could have been just a brief little weak EF0 90-mile-an-hour wind tornado. It's definitely possible, but I have to go back and look at the radar data to kind of see, but that's what we're kind of looking at here.
All right. Well, I appreciate that, Kevin.
Do they want me to? We're
gonna. Yeah, I was just gonna.
At 5:30.
I was just gonna have a chat with you about that. So we're on at 5:30. It sounds like, right, Will? And so I've got 3 minutes off the top. I'm gonna toss out to you, and I'll do a quick radar. Toss it out to you. You can show us some things. You toss back to me, and then we'll continue out the newscast. And then if you are able to get a homeowner to talk, someone there, let us know, and we will chat with them during my main weather.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good.
Cool. And then we're just going to stream the newscast at 5:30. I think that's okay at this point. So control in the back. If you want, we'll take a break here for a few minutes. But if you want to just leave Kevin's drone shot up. Actually, yeah, go ahead and leave Kevin's shot up for a bit. But if you want to just cut mics here for a little bit, I'm going to put an audio message out. We're going to take a break. We'll be back at 5:30 with the newscast, and we'll go from there. Sound good in the back? Madison, can you hear me? I don't know if he hears me. Well, perhaps if you... Are you walking back to town, Will? I appreciate it. Sweet. So we'll be back at 5:30, and we'll go ahead and cut the audio, and we appreciate... I still see the audio light on, which is why I'm...
This is your WCIA 3 forecast first, sponsored by Route 66 Solar and Roofs.
Well, we continue to watch storms move across the area here. It's 5:30 and we've had an active time of severe weather. Most of us haven't had to deal with it. It's been an I-70 corridor issue as expected from flooding and from severe weather. Tornado watch continues for counties in yellow there. A number of tornado warnings lined up just south of our area. Looks like now far southern Crawford County confirmed tornado. And we'll be keeping an eye on that, watching for additional storms to develop here before long. Cameras out there are looking okay. And most of the area, look at our temperatures. 68 in Decatur and in Mattoon, 67 Champaign. Still some warm air there to the west. We'll talk about that. Dew point values also in those lower 70s to the south. Some warm, unstable air still in the neighborhood. And so we'll be keeping an eye as our tornado watch does continue until 9 o'clock tonight. Coming up, more updates on tornadoes that moved through parts of central Illinois today, including a look from Chief Meteorologist Kevin Leidy. Plus, quieter weather is ahead. We'll have those details and updates on storms coming up as WCIA 3 News at 5:30 starts right now.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 5:30.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Will Simmons. Sirens were sounding this afternoon as storms swept back into the area, causing more damage with more tornadoes. We have Chief Meteorologist Kevin Leidy out in the storm tracker. We'll check in with him in a bit. Right now, we're going to go back to meteorologist Jacob Dickey in the Weather Center. Jacob, you've been following the severe weather for the past couple of hours. What are you seeing now?
Well, the good news is I think the threat is coming down for most all of our viewing area, but there are a number of tornado warnings just outside of it. Look at all these red boxes here. These are tornado warnings for this storm, that storm, this storm. That one's a confirmed tornado. Into Indiana, tornado warnings. Down here by Mount Vernon, tornado warnings. Very prime environment for tornadoes, and we thought this might be the case. We weren't sure how far north that front lifted. It was far enough north, though, to bring some issues earlier. We had tornado warnings in Effingham, Shelby, Cumberland, Coles County, and off to the east towards Clark, Jasper, and Crawford. And most of those warnings now, though, are to the south here. Looks like far southern Fayette County, northern Clay County, and areas south of Newton and then southeast of Robinson still have some tornado warnings that are out there. I do not think they're going to lift back into our core viewing area, but we'll keep an eye on them here as they continue through the evening. And then there's some more development out here to the west, so that's something that we'll keep an eye on. Storms hadn't left without doing some damage, though. Chief Meteorologist Kevin Leidy is out in the storm tracker. We want to take it to him and take a peek at what he's got. First off, Kevin, you're on the scene of damage in the Neoga area. Tell me more about what you've got.
Yeah, so I am here just barely east of Neoga on County Road 1000 North. We do have Sky 3 drone that's going to give you some better aerial views. So take a look at this, and you can see Farmstead here where there is extensive damage to several of their barns and a little garage area that's right here. And we'll just kind of continue to fly the drone around, and you can see some of this damage. Again, this is just east of I-57. You can see, I mean, there's 2 or 3 barns here that were just destroyed, and you can see that debris was actually strewn well off there to the north and then into the field that is out here. And you can see all the kind of some of the paneling from some of the roofs, all those panels right there. Then even some of the corn that actually might be kind of swirly a little bit. And what I mean by that is showing signs of maybe some of the rotation. Look at all the water in the fields too. And then on top of that, there's an accident there on 57, kind of where some of that construction is. And it is actually closed down, part of the interstate there, and they're kind of diverting some of the traffic. So that is kind of what we're seeing here. Again, this is on County Road 1000 North, basically just to the east of Neoga. But that's what we were seeing. You can see all that debris, again, as we kind of bring the drone back to you to kind of show the views. And so a homeowner here, we're going to try to talk to them here in a little bit. But just a couple of houses located here that obviously have some fairly extensive damage associated with them. So we'll come back to you here in just a little bit, but we just want to kind of show you some of that damage that obviously that they've received here. Now, the weather service have to come out and determine, hey, was this from, some kind of straight line winds, or was this due to maybe a little bit of quick little circulation that occurred? So that's the view there from a Sky 3 drone of some of the damage here just east of Neoga. For now, we'll send it back to you in the studio.
And real quick, Kevin, I wanted to ask you one quick question. Those fields had a lot of water. Have you seen flooding down there?
Oh, Yeah, a lot of flooding on some of those area roads. When I was driving, I mean, it was, we couldn't go very fast. There was an incredible amount of rain that fell. I mean, heavy rainfall for like 30 or 45 minutes at times. And so, yeah, we'll just give you one more kind of look into those fields out there. They look like this all over, and a lot of the roads as well, some of those county roads. So definitely be on the lookout if you are driving, but you can see fields that just look like lakes, essentially. Again, also off in the distance there is that accident there along I-57 where you can see some of the traffic is slowed down in that area. So for now, we'll send it back to you. Again, maybe we'll try to talk to the homeowner here if we can grab him. Obviously, he's a little busy kind of dealing with things, but we'll maybe try to grab him for a second. We can see a lot of debris over here just east of Neoga.
All right, thanks for that report, Kevin. We'll hear back from you in a little bit as he's been out in the storm tracker for us through the day. Currently, looking across the area, we're keeping an eye on those storms to the south. Again, I think they're going to stay mainly out of the area, but there's a lot of flooding out there. Clark County Sheriff Department reports a lot of flooding. A lot of other areas seeing that as well, even on some of the state highways down there. Flash flood watch continues past midnight tonight. Will?
All right, Jacob, thanks for staying on top of it. We'll check back with you a little later. And coming up, a look at your local news. A year later, family and friends are continuing to mourn the loss of Anaya Davis, who died from shooting while carrying on her memory to help others. WCIA 3's Derek Mitchell was in Danville today and joins us now in the studio. Derek, how are they honoring her?
Well, Anaya's parents, Andrea and Philip Davis, say they are still devastated after the shooting, and now they have created scholarships in her name for students who have similar interests.
It definitely hurt. I don't even know how I'm supposed to process it.
Butterflies, flowers, and the memories of what once was.
I just wanted to feel her presence, especially today.
Every week, Philip Davis comes to Winter Park thinking of his daughter, Anaya, who was shot and killed here last year.
It's been a year to the day. On Father's Day on top of that. I just want justice for my baby.
Police haven't made any arrests on the year-old case, and it's leaving a hole in friends' and family's heart.
Anaya was kind of like the life of the family. She was the one who always smiled.
She impacted my life by just being there for me when I needed her.
Davis captured the hearts of everyone around her through singing and dancing, And that's something Gavin Boss says will stick with him forever.
She always told us, always enter a room with a smile on your face, no matter what you're feeling that day.
And now, Anaya's name is being used as a vessel to give back.
We're giving show choir scholarships. So regardless, Anaya's name is never going to go anywhere.
And 2 scholarships have already been given out.
This year, it was Dio White and Serenity Reed. And it was really good because Anaya knew both of them.
Now Anaya is forever at Winter Park with this memorial. And her dad says he can feel her presence.
But I don't think I'm going to ever get a full peace with it.
Just to give her a long hug and tell her I love her and tell her don't go to nobody's parks.
Anaya's family is also organizing a daddy-daughter dance and a mother-son dance, and both parents say they will continue to reach out to youth to make sure what happened to Anaya doesn't happen to anyone else. Will?
All right, Derek, thank you. And we'll have another check of your weather after this.
Now, Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Jacob Dickey.
Well, the last several hours have been very active here. You can see that little swirl in the last 3 hours of radar. That swirl is that low pressure, that compact low that we were watching slide across our area. Ended up about 30 to 40 miles, maybe a little less than that, but over Edgar County, maybe a county south of where it could have been. And that's keeping the tornado threat right now just south of our area. It'd be a much different story if that low is another 30 miles north. It'd pull everything deeper into our viewing area. But look at that line of tornado warnings down to our south here, down to the east of St. Louis. Confirmed tornado in northern Marion County. Got tornado warnings just south of Effingham County, south of Jasper County. There is a severe thunderstorm warning for far southern Effingham County, but no immediate threat sticks out to me. I think it's south of Effingham County, so I feel good about Effingham County being clear. We'll watch for places like Winter Road, south of Eberly, well south of Watson and Mason for maybe something to slip on through. And then another big tornado there heading towards Fairfield, that is, down in Wayne County. These storms came on through. They brought lots of rain, some wind, even a couple of tornadoes reported in our viewing area. One of those places where some damage may have been from one of those storms, I should say, is down in Neoga. That's where Chief Meteorologist Kevin Leidy is. Kevin, you're out there now looking at things. Tell us more about what you're seeing.
So we're on scene here. You can see some of the damage here behind us. Could you go ahead and tell us your name?
Brett Williamson.
Brett, you told me that you farm actually. The field that's here behind us has got a lot of debris in it, right?
I farm for Ed Brick, who owns this ground. Yep.
So, tell me a little bit about what you're seeing out here.
Well, it's pretty much a big mess, and it looks like it came from the south and went almost due north, and took down the open shed, an old corn crib, this barn behind me, took the roof off it. On the grain bin, it sucked the roof upwards, which seems unusual. So then we got stuff scattered in the fields and lots of rain, lots of water.
A lot of water out there, so a lot of damage. But the homes seem to be okay.
I think the home is okay. A lot of tree branches on it, but I think that structurally it's okay.
That's definitely some great news. But
Right.
a lot of debris out there in that field out there.
A lot of debris. And the corn, like everybody's had at Charleston, it's going to be hard to find.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to chat with us out here, and glad everybody's okay. That's all ultimately the best thing, right?
Yep, that's
Thank
right.
you. I appreciate it,
Thanks
sir.
a lot.
All right, Jacob, we'll send it back to you. But obviously, it does look like, and possibly even on the other side, and I'm going to try to take a look at some of the corn, but it looks like some of the corn there even has got a little swirl to it. So we'll continue to monitor things here. But again, just east of Neoga, off the County Road 1000 North. We'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks for your report, Kevin. It is great to have you out there, the storm tracker. We do what we do for situations like this to show you the damage that's been caused. So Kevin's been out there, been a big asset for us here with those storms today. Temperatures in the 60s. Now, here in Mattoon, Decatur, Champaign, Danville, it's going to be hard to recover that air mass. A little warmer air, though. West of Springfield and Jacksonville seeing some 70s. So we're going to have to keep a close eye. I think largely the tornado threat is over in our area. But as we watch things here, still the chance for some scattered storms the next couple of hours here. By midnight, I think that threat does wrap up here. Future Track has been trying to develop some more little cells here. And while the wind shear is impressive, I don't know if they have enough instability to cause issues. But you can see that whole swirl over our area. So we'll just keep an eye on things the next few hours. But largely, I think things are winding down. Lows tonight head down into the upper 50s and low 60s. Tomorrow, a much quieter day. Yet again, some areas will have to clean up the damage. Other areas drying out from the flooding rains that we've seen. A lot of flash flood warnings out there. We'll be in the low to middle 70s. And your 7-day forecast shows then overall some quieter weather ahead. There is a chance for some scattered storms on Wednesday. I don't see many problems with that as of now. By next weekend, the chances there for some showers and thunderstorms. And that may be the start of another active stretch of weather. We'll keep you updated on that. We'll also continue our digital coverage here starting at 6 o'clock. Join us over there on Facebook, on the weather app, the news app, on YouTube, and on your digital devices as we'll continue watching those storms a little bit behind the scenes. Will?
All right, Jacob, thank you. Well, it's been a weekend of celebrations across Central Illinois for the Juneteenth holiday weekend. We'll take you to Danville, where the 3-day stretch is ending with a cook-off. That's coming up. Stay with us.
All right, everyone on the stream, just wanted to check in. We're going to be back at 6 o'clock with coverage. We're in our newscast right now. Really, I think for our WCIA 3 viewing area, we're pretty much done, but the flooding threat is there. You can see that where that green boxes are. Fayette, Effingham, Shelby, Cumberland, Clark, Jasper, Crawford County, flash flooding, some significant flooding in those areas. And that's what we're seeing. And then also looking at all those red boxes, tornado warnings are lined up just immediately south of our area. We feel fortunate for us that it is primarily out of our area. There's a snippet of southeastern Crawford County, a very small snippet of southwestern Jasper County, none of Effingham County. Those storms are south of there, but not by much. Could be a much different story. And then a confirmed tornado heading into the Fairfield area as well. But quite the event that's in place here. So you can see how that is playing out with that tornado. And we're not on wall-to-wall coverage because it's not in our county coverage area. But still, we can continue that digital coverage. I know we got some folks down in Clay County. Nothing confirmed at this point, but there's been some damage in Newton. There's been some damage in tornadoes in Crawford County. There's been confirmed tornadoes even into Shelby and Effingham counties, and likely Cumberland County. Probably going to end up being a weak tornado there based on the imagery coverage. So there's my update. We're going to let you go for just a few more minutes, but we'll be back at 6 o'clock with updates. All right, everyone, we're back here, kind of getting things back in line, watching these storms. Quick tornado spinning up there east of Olney, heading towards Lawrenceville. That's going to be a dangerous tornado warning storm there. So pretty concerned about that storm happening. I mean, look how fast, as I loop the last 45 minutes here, look at that really pick up. So that's a confirmed tornado heading into Lawrenceville, heading towards Vincennes. Probably a sizable one. This had a big tornado west of Fairfield. No indication it's still down on the ground. Tornadoes also in progress. Still severe weather, at least in the Marion County area, south of Effingham, Clay County, and far southern Jasper County. But it looks like just a line of tornado warnings, which is crazy to see here. And that's what we're looking at with that. So kind of monitoring things there. Production, if you're listening, as long as one of you sticks around to get us on air if needed. I don't think we need to, but I just want to make sure that none of these other storms try and pick up in intensity a little bit back to the west. I don't think they do, but it'd be nice to just have that safety blanket for my comfort if that's the case. So if that's the case, maybe Madison or Rob could just come by around the corner, give me a thumbs up as we're watching those storms kind of flourish still just off to our south. Man, there's been a number of big tornadoes as well. And we've been kind of monitoring that from afar as our coverage area stops down there at the Effingham County line. So if one of you is here to stay to get us on air if needed for a little while longer, just to make sure, that would help us out a bunch. But I'll keep doing digital on my own here. So I don't need you guys to sit there. Does that work?
Is it likely that you're going on air? Or?
I can't rule it out.
Can't rule it out?
Yeah,
Okay.
I just need one person that can help out with that. And I may be able to give you the clear within a half an hour, but we're just watching the southern edges, and then it's not like we have to stay until 10 o'clock. I don't think, but it'd be nice. That's true. That's true. Okay, so coverage continues here. Again, large tornado now developing west of Lawrenceville. That's going to be moving to the east. Lawrenceville down south towards Vincennes. That's going to be a pretty sizable tornado based on the way things look. And I bet it's a very visible tornado. That's probably some tornadoes in Fairfield area. And there you go. That's where that tornado is right there. Probably fairly visible as it moves to the east and southeast. It'll cross Route 1 near or south of downtown Lawrenceville, and it'll come very close to Vincennes as well. There's your debris signature right here. So if we're looking at that, talking about this feature right there. In fact, you don't need to know I'm sitting, right? I'm allowed to sit. But that's your debris signature right here is where that confirmed tornado is, southeast of Claremont, moving off to the east. And it'll pass very near Lawrenceville. Lawrenceville is a fairly sizable town, probably just south of Bridgeport, but not by much. So Vincennes is red line, center line for that one. Southern Jasper County does have a tornado warning. There's no evidence of a tornado down on radar. As we look at the rotation, it's not all that strong. There's a snippet of a rotation there between Olney and Newton, but it's nothing that stands out. Finally, this might be the first time Clay County has been out of a warning in a while here. I mean, that's kind of crazy how long they've been in tornado warnings. This storm here that was down by Fairfield, there was a really intense tornado that came through parts of Wayne County, northwest of Fairfield. It has occluded, no tornado down there. And then this storm, it's been trying all the way since O'Fallon. It's over Carlisle now. There's the big lake down there. Some people might be camping down there for Father's Day weekend, the south end of Lake Carlisle Lake, that is. Back here at home for our WCIA viewing area, largely I think the severe threat is done. Edgar County storms are east of you. You're good. Clark County storms are east of you. We do have a couple of little cells that are trying to fire up. The good news is I don't think they're in a favorable environment. I think we've worked it over, but we're just going to watch just to make sure that some little mischief doesn't happen here. That's the last thing we want is to let our guard down, because this has been a year to not trust storms. And I don't think this is any exception. And then we've got these little cells developing back here to the west. There's a lot of wind shear, but I just don't think there's any instability with them. But we'll take a peek. If there's more instability to the north, if there is a little instability that's snuck to the north, it is towards Jacksonville and Springfield. I'm going to check some of my data off to the side here. There's a little instability up there west of Springfield, trying to back build. But I don't know if it's going to be enough to get the job done here. Temperatures are back into the mid-upper 70s in Jacksonville. For Charleston, Champaign, I mean, we're in the 60s, so not too worried about that with storms coming on through. I don't know. I'm just going to pop in and see. I just want to see if Kevin's still out there, what he's doing. I could pull him up on my router feed, take a peek at him. I don't even know if he can hear us. He's driving now, so there he is. That's his live view as he's looking at that garage there. Looks like he's moving in position. Switching my stuff off there. Kevin, are you listening by chance? Are you able to hear us? Doesn't seem like it. So he's maneuvering probably back out and checking things out there. Again, he was on the east side of Neoga and had some damage earlier on TV for us. So that's that view down there. We're looking pretty clear here. That storm that's coming in towards Vincennes, south of Lawrenceville, that's a confirmed tornado. Still on the ground with that. So yeah, just south of Bridgeport is where that tornado is. Not by much, but it's coming into the Lawrenceville area, down towards Billet, Grays Corner. It's going to carry it towards Vincennes. It's a strong storm. I mean, it is not a weak-looking storm, but tornado in progress heading into Lawrenceville, south of Bridgeport. There it is. That's your circulation debris signature right there. So there's Bridgeport showing up. This right here is that circulation. When I look at velocity, it's going to pop up right there in the center. And that's going to be where that circulation is. So confirmed tornado continuing towards Bridgeport into the Lawrenceville area at this moment here. So that's that storm. That's, I think, the only oh, nope, there's one in Indiana. How about that? On that tail end. This was what I was a little worried about, is these comma head tail ends of these squall lines when you got highly sheared environments. Sometimes you can get tornadoes, and that's a confirmed tornado there, east of Clay City, southeast of Brazil, Indiana, getting close to Spencer, Indiana, in fact. And there's just a lot of shear that can make these things pop. These little cells pop in, they're not in that favorable of an environment. I mean, there's a little bit there, but there's not a whole lot of instability. So that's kind of what we're keeping our eyes on here. So I haven't had a chance to check social media. Some folks are saying 45 is closed due to flooding. Time now is 6:07. We've had some strong tornadoes today. It's been pretty crazy with those storms and how quickly they've managed to develop and move on through. So all in the area, looking there, there's not a whole lot of rotation, but there still is a tornado warning for areas between Albany and Newman, southern Jasper County. This is probably the biggest storm here south of Bridgeport. It's had a confirmed tornado reported on it. And then these cells still have some rotation, but hopefully we're entering a period where things are not as strong. I mean, what this storm here did, I mean, it may have been a long track tornado. So this is earlier. The warning boxes don't line up right, but that was quickly developing into a fairly strong tornado. And there you can see that's a debris ball showing up there northeast of Mount Vernon. And continuing off to the east, it stayed on the ground for a while. I mean, it was reported as a tornado approaching the Fairfield area. Not reported as on the ground at this point, but still quite a bit of action with other storms that are out there here in the region. So we will watch. They've not dropped the tornado watch, and I think that's just out of an abundance of caution. I'm not totally surprised by that, but we'll be. I'm kind of checking out some video that's coming in of this storm. So we're kind of hanging out here for a bit, just checking things out. What am I looking at here? There's that. Then I'm going to look northeast. Okay, here's what I think I'm going to do, folks. I need to get some paperwork stuff done. Clearly, there's a lot going on. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tornado-warned storms to our south and east. They're not in our coverage area, but I got to get some stuff done behind the scenes here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap up this coverage, but we're going to stay here. I just got to get some work done. So if there's anything that does become evident for our viewing area, we'll jump back on. The tornado watch goes until 9 o'clock. We're going to be here. We're going to monitor things. I'm just getting some information that I need to clarify with some of these little cells that are popping up back over our area, and I want to spend some time digging into that. So that'll wrap up our coverage here for now. If needed, I'll be back for our viewing area. Tornado coverage continues down to the south, but we're going to watch things closely and monitor things. All right, thanks for following along, and I hope to not see you soon, but if I